final game of the regular season, Game 40 here from Bourne Park. Welcome into Pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, joined by Adam Gotkin and Devon Jarvis. The Braves play the YD Red Sox tonight for the final regular season game, Devon.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Bourne in their final regular season game. Unfortunately, nothing really to play for. You already locked up the 1 seed, and for YD, they're going to be the 4 seed no matter what in division. So just a game to test out some new people, show what you have, and show that it's not just a meaningless game. You still want to go out there and win.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, but you want to win the game, keep morale up going into playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. There's, still, even though there's some new guys, you're still having the heart of your order and a lot of those key players playing today. And you don't want them to go 0 for 4 going into the playoffs. You want them to still just be in that groove and, get some hits and just create offense. And also, you look at these pitchers, yes, they're playing today, but they were added to the team at this point of the season to pitch in the playoffs. So you want them to start off really well, and you want them to, have a good first appearance here because their next one is going to be in the playoffs, and it's going to be a high-leverage situation.
Well, Adam talked about it a little bit, but expand on it. We have some new guys that come just for the playoffs part of the season.
Exactly. This is what made Scott Lander's Bourne team so good in previous years, are these additions at the end of the regular season that Bourne can use in the playoffs. 2 in the starting lineup, 2 likely to come out of the bullpen today. The 2 in the starting lineup, you start with Lou Costello. He's going to be playing outfield for Bourne today, and then Aiden Paradine. These are 2 players who have really good resumes. Paradine was hit .370 for Siena this most recent time in his collegiate season. He spent time in the Northwoods and the NECBL as well. And in the PGCBL, Lou Costello also had a fantastic season, hit over 300 in only 12 games. He's looking to add a lot to this Bourne team here. Out of the bullpen, Saxon Roberts and Timmy Lawson, 2 guys who were in the Valley League with Charlottesville, but in their time in college didn't have a ton of experience. So they're 2 freshmen, now rising sophomore arms that you're looking to see a lot out of, but you don't really know what they can bring. So a big game for Bourne today to kind of test the waters with all 4 of these guys and see what they can bring to the playoff roster.
Well, first pitch will be at 6 p.m. against the YD Red Sox here from Bourne Park. I'm now joined by Lyle Alenstein. Lyle, we have Quinn Holt on the mound for us tonight. First time he started for us, he had a great outing.
Yeah, making his 3rd appearance, Quinn Holt. It was 2 different stories both times we've seen him pitch this year. The first time he came in relief, really kind of struggled to give up a bunch of runs, but then that second time out, that start against Chatham, he was lights out, 5 shutout innings, 7 strikeouts, really saw what he was capable of.
And for the YD Red Sox, who are we going to see on the mound tonight?
Josh Hendry making his 4th appearance on the Cape this year, over 5 ERA, 0-1 record. A couple of strikeouts, a little bit of inconsistencies that he's shown so far, but again, this is a game that the Bourne needs to get some confidence going to that off day before the playoffs, get to the bats, get him going early.
Thanks for joining me, Lyle. First pitch will be at 6 p.m. here from Bourne Park. Ariel Tamir-Pinsky joined by Sebastian Mexico from Law Tech. Sebastian, last night you went 3 for 5. You had 2 RBIs. I heard your family up in the stadium cheering for you. How awesome is it to have that support behind you?
Awesome. I mean, I'm fortunate enough I'm only 2 hours away, so my family can make the trip like that often. They'll be here again tonight, so hopefully I can do it again, but it's awesome to do it in front of them.
And I know you're from Massachusetts. Has it always been a goal for you to play in the Cape League?
Yeah, no, it's been a dream of mine forever. I mean, dream come true finally happened, especially my last summer. Yeah.
And I know you just got here, but it's the last game of the regular season. You guys have playoffs next week. What are you guys doing to keep up the energy?
I'd say just keep it going. I mean, we've been on a heater so far, I'd say, and it's just stringing games together, stacking days.
Well, thanks.
Down and 1 more to go in the 2025 Cape League regular season for the Bourne Braves. the Whitey Red Sox, who come to Dorn Park today in game number 40 for both of these teams as they have their playoff bids clinched. They're looking to just get an extra win before the end of the regular season. Thanks so much for joining us here at Dorn Park on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV. My name is Devon, Jarvis. I'm joined alongside Adam Gotkin and our sideline reporter Ariel Tamir-Pinsky to join us later in the broadcast. Great to have you guys here with us. And Bourne, it had a stellar day yesterday, to say the least, Adam. It was a win against an in-division rival. In that same win, they had a loss from Wareham and clinched the first seed in the West Division. So now for the second time under Scott Landers, it's Bourne who is the best regular season team in the West Division.
Yeah, and it's a little bit funny how things work, because if they were in the East, they'd be in last place. But hey, we don't have to worry about that because Bourne is in the West, and they have clinched the regular season championship. And, that's positive. This is something that hasn't happened in a couple of years, which is a little bit crazy to say, considering Bourne has won the postseason championship in the West each of the last 2 years. But in the regular season, this team was the most consistent, especially in the last month after a very slow start like in the past. The Braves were without a doubt the best team in the West in the month of July and the start of August.
Yeah, you talked about it right there. Just the playoff success from this team has been insurmountable over the past couple of years under Scott Landers. The regular season success, not as high, but again, they get that regular season title here in the West Division. With 40 points, they would be 5th in the East Division. In a total of 6 teams, when you add Bourne in, they would just barely miss the playoffs. Unless they can win today and beat the Whitey Red Sox, they would technically make it in the East. But you're just looking at a game today that doesn't have any empirical value for either side. A win or loss, Bourne still is the 1 seed. YD still has the 4 seed with a victory or a loss. So, Adam, why should this game be important for these teams? Because it's not in the standings.
Well, there's the one tiny thing, which is if these teams face off in the Cape League Championship game, then the winner of this will get home field advantage. Now, you're going to rest players over potential home field advantage in the championship game if the 1 seed plays the 4 seed. But it still matters because this is still baseball, and the guys playing in this game will still be playing in the playoffs. So, they need to be on a streak. They need to be playing well and swinging the bat well, and if they aren't, then, things are going to be going bad going into the playoffs. You want momentum. You want to be playing your best going into the last couple games of the season. Last year, Bourne went on a 6-game unbeaten streak to end the regular season. They got a chance to go on a 3-game unbeaten streak to end the regular season today.
Well, Adam, we talked about it in the pregame, but there's a lot of new faces in this lineup. Bourne and Scott Landers looking at this game as maybe a test trial for some new guys. 4 in the lineup today. What are you looking to see from them?
Well, you're looking to see that they belong. You got Luke Costello, left fielder from Wake Forest, and Aiden Paradine, a catcher from Siena. Now, they have the resume that says they do. Costello hit .290 as a freshman at Wake with 10 home runs, and Paradine was second-team All-MAC. He was a Buster Posey Award watchlist guy at Siena. So these are guys that have really high pedigree, but, for everyone, when you go to the Cape, things get a lot harder because just the level of play is that much higher. The other thing that you got today is you have 2 pitchers who could be making their debuts today. Saxon Roberts out of Auburn and Timmy Lawson out of North Carolina, both guys who have pitched earlier this summer but are young, rising sophomores. So, you want to see what they have. You want to see what they can bring to your team and, hope that they can get off to a good start with the Braves.
Yeah, Bourne is showing a lot of new faces. On the other side for YD, it's been an up and down season. Bourne last time at home saw YD when they were the best team in the East Division. No longer the case. They're all the way down to 4th, but they've still been able to keep a close race for that top seed in the playoffs. They are 5 back of the red-hot Orleans, 41 points for YD, 46 for Orleans. But you want to see, if you're YD, then break this 2-game loss streak that they're on and go in the playoffs really strong. They've had some fantastic regular season teams over recent years, especially last year, but have not been able to find that postseason success.
Yeah, this is a bit of a trend over the last few years for the Red Sox. And, it's surprising because Scott Pickler is the winningest coach in the Cape League. He has 3-peated before. He's one of only 2 coaches to ever 3-peat in this league. So, for him to be struggling now when it comes to having a good postseason is a bit of a surprise. But, there's just such a massive change in the landscape of college athletics that has affected summer ball as well. And so it's just tough for some of these coaches. And, Pickler, that veteranness can kind of work against you because as everything changes, you have to change as well. And, he has really done a good job of trying his best to bring new players in. But you look up and down the entire lineup, and there's only one player that's a starter for YD today that has played in more than 30 games. For the Bourne Braves, you have 3 of your top 4 in the order that's played in more than 30, and Ryan Cooney, who's played in 28. And a reminder that the Braves are not playing some of their top guys to give them rest. So, that's a big part of this, and there's just so many different factors that go into it. It's really, really tough for these coaches.
Braden Holcomb and Gavin Kelly both getting a rest day today, but there were 2 players in the starting lineup who had fantastic games yesterday that it's only right if we highlight them, Adam. A 5-for-5 day for Cal Sefcik marked the first Bourne Brave to do that in 9 seasons. And Sebastian Mexico went 3-for-5 with 2 RBIs. These are 2 players who have joined the Braves over the last 2 weeks. It's a different scenario for Sefcik because he was with this team on day 1 but left for a little while. So refreshing to see these bats come out, especially for this playoff push.
Yeah, it is. And Sebastian Mexico's 3-for-5 breakout day was an important one because, he went 0-4 in his first game, which is expected, first game in this league, but it did not take any time for him to get adjusted. I was talking to him before the game. He said that it really hasn't felt like much of a difference going from the NACBL to here. These late season Cape League pitchers a lot of the times are guys who came from the NACBL. We've seen a number of them over the last few days, and he has really adjusted well to these new conditions out here on the Cape.
Yeah, he has, and a person who's similarly done things, Quinn Holt, a new addition to this bullpen arm, or rather pitching staff for Bourne. He had one of the better starts of the year for Bourne a week ago today at Chatham.
Yeah, he was exceptional. Went 5 innings, didn't give up any runs. He struck out 7. And, he's a veteran in this league, a guy who is here for now the 3rd year. He's with his 3rd different team. He has started a lot of games as a college player. He's gone to a bunch of different schools, junior college, Division II, Division III. He's been everywhere, and nothing will faze him, and he has got really good stuff. We saw that in Chatham, and I don't think there's any doubt that we'll see it again today. I think what was most impressive for Holt in that Chatham game was he went 5 shutout innings, and he really only had command of 2 of his pitches, which is a surprise. It's not that uncommon of a thing for a starter to only have 2 pitches really working. But to still get 7 strikeouts and 5 shutout innings when none of them are going is just so impressive.
Yeah, it was really, really awesome. Only 1 walk in his 2 outings, but his ERA is a little higher than you'd hope because of that first outing he had, 5.06 ERA. The pitcher on the other side is Clay Hendry. Now, Hendry was not the original starter earlier today, but he takes the start. It's his 2nd start of the season, and now going to be pitching after 10 1/3 innings, a 5.23 ERA, but 5 strikeouts, or rather 5 walks to 9 strikeouts. This is a guy Bourne has seen before. What can we expect out of him?
Well, he pitched his best of the summer last time out in the 10-3 win over Falmouth back on Tuesday. Gave up just 1 run in 4 1/3. His control was really good, just 29 balls on 80 pitches. He did a really good job striking guys out. He's got 6 Ks on the season, and he really just doesn't let that many guys on base. A whip below 1.4. He is a very good pitcher. He has what it takes to get deep into a game, and YD's really going to need that today because their bullpen has had a lot of issues recently.
Well, like we mentioned before, this game has no effect for either YD or Bourne in their playoff standings. Of course, could affect the Cape League Championship and who gets home field advantage if these 2 teams meet. But there are a lot of fun games going around the Cape League today with some serious implications, specifically in the West Division. Cotuit and Falmouth square off at Gulf Fuller Field. The winner of that game makes the playoffs. Wareham and Hyannis also squaring off. If Hyannis wins, they make the playoffs. If they lose, they need Falmouth to win if they want to make the playoffs. Just a really fun day on the Cape today, Adam. Not often can you see this close of a race this far into the season, but you did see it last year here at Dorn Park as well.
Yeah, it's really incredible just how fun this season has been. You look at the West Division, and it is insanely close. Just 3.5 games separate the top from the bottom, the closest that the West Division has ever been in the Cape League. And it's fun, it's really exciting to get to this point of the season and still have a lot on the line. Bourne last year was fighting for a playoff spot towards the end, but locked it up with a couple games to go. And, Falmouth was out with a couple of games to go. So it's really different this year for us to have this closeness towards the end, and it's fun, and it's really exciting for these teams and for these Cape League fans who, a lot of the time the end of the season can be a little bit quieter, but these teams are all making it really exciting with how much parity there's been in 2025.
Well, a fantastic day of Cape League baseball ahead. It's the only intra-division matchup today on the Cape between the Bourne Braves and the YD Red Sox. The winner of this game would finish higher than the other. YD right now at 19-17-3 have 41 points. Bourne at 19-18-2 have 40 points. They're looking to be above 500, which they did for the first time after yesterday's win, and they would keep it with a win today. We'll now step aside for the break for the national anthem, but on the other side, your starting lineups and first pitch.
It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. All right. Let's go, Clay.
Please rise for the pledge of our national anthem. Sing tonight's anthem and stay ready. We are thrilled to welcome her back to Bourne Park.
Well, the stage is set for you here at Doran Park. A couple of new faces in the lineup all around. So, Adam, why don't you give us those starting lineups, beginning with the visiting YD Red Sox?
Jace Darnish leads things off and plays in center field for YD, coming off a really solid 3-for-5 game last night. The number 2 spot, playing second base, is Armando Briseño. Batting third and playing third base is the top batter on the Red Sox, the third baseman Chris Akopian. He leads YD in batting average, RBIs, doubles, and he's the only Red Sox in the starting lineup today to play more than 30 games. In the cleanup spot is the right fielder Nick Costello, coming off a multi-RBI game. Batting fifth, making his debut for the YD Red Sox, is the first baseman Ryan Nedved. Batting sixth is the designated hitter Thomas McAndrews, a late addition to the lineup after a last-second scratch of Yomar Carreras. Batting seventh is the left fielder Jordan Crossland. In the number 8 spot is the shortstop Jack Bell. And batting ninth to round out the starting lineup is the catcher Connor Capisi. Again, it's Clay Hendry getting the start today for the YD Red Sox, his third start of the summer. On the other side of things for the Bourne Braves, John LeGrande gets the start and plays in center field. He gets back into the starting lineup after taking the day off yesterday as a starter. Batting second is the third baseman, Cade Lewis, one of the guys tied for the team lead in RBIs. The number 3 hole is the designated hitter, Cal Sefcik, coming off of a pretty historic 5-for-5 day at the plate. The first Bourne Brave to have 5 hits in a game in 9 years. Batting fifth is the left fielder, Sebastian Mexico, coming off a 3-for-5 day. And the number 6 hole is the left fielder making his debut for the Bravos out of Wake Forest, Luke Costello. Batting seventh is the shortstop, Ryan Cooney, coming off a solid day in the field. He made a couple show-stopping plays. Batting eighth is the first baseman, Jason Torres. And in the number 9 hole, another guy making his Braves debut, the catcher, Aiden Paradine, out of Siena. Quinn Holt gets the start today for the Bravos, making his second start of the summer. He went 5 innings shutout in his first start of the year.
Also tacked on 7 Ks, the battery of Holt and Paradine will be both of them making their home starting debut. It was only 1/3 of an inning for Quinn Holt in relief last time he was here at Doran Park. Well, Jace Tharnish leads things off. The center fielder has bat 300, now in his 15th game. He chops the first one to the left side. It's foul just between the coaching box and the bag, but we talked about it earlier. This game has no effect on playoff standings for YD or Bourne, but still something you'd like to see a strong performance out of. Bourne's been really good at getting their offense going early. The defense also has been able to be pretty formidable for the start of the game, and the relievers have come out too. Bourne now on a 2-game winning streak after victories against Cotuit and against Falmouth. Both of those games were pretty dramatic. It was a back and forth one with Falmouth, or rather just a domination one with Falmouth as the 1-1 misses low and outside. And the one against Cotuit, seemed like Cotuit was picking up steam toward the end, but the offense showed out for Bourne in that final 9th inning for them to get a little bit of insurance and secure the victory. Here's the 2-1, way down in the dirt. And Holt has a chance to walk a batter here. He's only walked 1 batter all season in his 5 1/3 with the Braves.
You know, it was a bit of a rocky first inning in his last start. He allowed a couple base runners on, but after that he saw the minimum in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. So, you know, for him, if he can get past this first and still be looking strong, then, you know, he can just kind of settle in and get into the rest of his game.
Yeah, that's what we've seen with a lot of Bourne pitchers specifically. It's you just need to get to that first inning, then you can cruise along. Folger Boaz, another starter for Bourne, who is also a similar archetype of the pitcher. The full count pitch coming home. Cracked out to the outfield. This one should be a piece of cake for Mexico. Just shuffles back and makes the grab for out number 1 here in the top of the first inning. Bourne hosting, of course, their 20th home game of the season today. They're going to have at least 21. Secured that first seed and will host what could be either Cotuit, Hyannis, or Falmouth on that Tuesday game. Will not be playing Wareham unless it's in the West Division Championship. Armando Briseño, the 3rd baseman for YD, steps in. Out of Cal State Fullerton, he's been really solid for this YD team. In his 17th game today, has bat .356, has a home run, 4 doubles. He's been really good. The last time these two teams met, it was a 4-4 tie at Red Wilson Field. Bourne left Red Wilson Field now with 2 consecutive ties, and really interesting. He couldn't find a winner, but still a solid game. The 2-1 pitch. Just outside. It's back up to 3-1. Bourne currently leading the season series against the Yarmouth-Dennis Red Sox with a win and 2 ties. Last time YD was here, they were put down 10-1 by the Braves. As the pitch misses outside, and Holt works himself into a walk. It's Briseño on with a base on balls, and only the 2nd BB of the season for Quinn Holt. You know, you still may look at it as the best game of the season, that 10-1 victory for Bourne, when they did win that. It was against YD at the peak of their powers, and just everything showed out for Bourne in that game. That Shorey on the mound. He pitched a gem, and it was followed by just a lot of offensive action.
Yeah, it was a really impressive one and an important game at the time for the Braves because, you know, as has been expected over the last couple of years, it was a bit of a slow start to the season. And to get a massive win like that in the beginning of July was just so game-changing for this team.
Bourne in the month of June was 4-8-1. It really shifted things around, and there's no doubt that you can have confidence in Scott Landers to get to this point in the season in tip-top shape. Pitch goes down, runner's going to go. This could be close. The first test for the arm of Paradine. It goes into the outfield. Couldn't quite get it there on the mark. So into second is Armando Briseño. Still here in the top of the first inning. Holtz 1-1, misses low. That first inning that you talked about, Adam, against Chatham, it was 2 runners in scoring position for the Anglers. The first batter of the game, Jackson Freeman, and the third in Chase Freilich. A passed ball was in there. No walks, so the control still a little bit of a worry right now, as there was not much of that last time out. As here's the 2-2 from Holt. It's outside, another full count. I think the big question with Holt, Adam, is whether he can produce as well as he did last time again. Because a lot of these guys, they can come out and throw a gem, but maybe not the next time. Bourne really need a guy like Quinn Holt to come out there and pitch super well. That one's out to the outfield, and it's just going to be in foul territory.
I think one of those things that you keep on looking at when you talk about Quinn Holt, though, is his experience. You know, as one of the older guys in this league, you know, he is a 2002 birthday and a July 2002 birthday, so he's already 23. He has been around. He has pitched in this league for 3 years. He has spent time with 7 different summer ball teams, so he knows what you have to do to get outs.
Played summer ball all the way back in 2022. As the walk puts Hakopian on first, and Briseño steals third base. So once again, the opposition threatening in the first inning against Quinn Holt. Still just 1 out here in the top of the first.
You know, I remember in that 2022 season, Quinn was a completely different pitcher than he is now. His fastball nowhere close to where it is now, and he really seemed to, you know, at times just not have it. He, in that moment, you could tell was one of the better pitchers in the Cal Ripken League, and you know, he was a freshman out of Division II Bloomsburg, so it was kind of out of nowhere, and you had a feeling that he was going to jump up, but I don't think anyone could have expected this rise that he's had. You know, he has all the raw tools, really solid frame, 6'5", 225, lanky, strong. You know, he looks like the archetype of a really solid pitcher. It was just about putting it all together, and you know, he went to Hartford Community College out in Maryland, one of the top JUCOs in the Mid-Atlantic, and then Keystone College, of course, coached there by Jamie Shevchek, the head coach for the Brewster Whitecaps, and you know, learned a lot there. Brian Del Rosso was pitching coach there, also the pitching coach for Brewster, and you know, they just really developed him into a guy who had a lot of looks moving up to the Division I level in the portal this year, but ended up going to Utah Valley, somewhere where he could be an ace.
Runner's going to go. The double steal is not executed, but a great throw by Aiden Paradine throws out the runner in Hakopian. That cleans things up very nicely. Takes a little bit of pressure off the back of Quinn Holt. You know, just for those wondering, I wouldn't hold Adam against keeping up with 2022 Cal Ripken League baseball, but you were the broadcaster for the Gaithersburg Giants back that year when Quinn Holt was with them.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a sicko. I wasn't watching 2022 Gaithersburg Giants games, unfortunately. Well, I am trying to go through and find my preseason prep from that year to see what I had on Holt all the way back in 2022.
3-0's down Broadway. Let's see what you got on him. How different it could be from the pitcher he is now, maybe.
I found my 2021 Gaithersburg Giants. Got to go way further back. There's a guy who's made the majors on this list right now. A long time ago.
I was still in high school.
So was I.
Full count after the foul ball for Nick Costello. He's got 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. It's been a long one. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball misses upstairs. That's now 3 consecutive walks for Quinn Holt. Holt just walked 1 batter in his last start against the Anglers. And that was all the way to 5 innings. That walk came in the 4th inning, where he still faced the minimum as the runner was caught stealing. Runner's going again. The throw comes again. This one outside, not as on target for the strong arm of Aiden Paradine. But he's already impressed in his debut.
Red Sox aren't scared to run on him. That's the 3rd stolen base attempt already.
New guy, spent some time in the NECBL and the Northwoods League. The 0-1, swing and a miss. And for the first time today, Quinn Holt's up in the count. 0-2.
I just found my prep from 22 on Holt. Don't have that much, but the big thing that jumps out is then he was listed at 6'4", 205. So, he's grown an inch and added 20 pounds of muscle. That's a big part of the development.
6'5", 220 right now. One ball, 2 strike count as the pitch missed low to Ryan Nedved.
It's just interesting looking at Holt's stats back from his true freshman year at Bloomsburg Division II. He was not a strikeout pitcher then, just 11 and 22 and 2/3. And now you look at his time on the Cape and he had 7 Ks in his first outing. It's just changed a lot.
You can see it in the numbers too. Was in single digits in his strikeouts per 9 in his first 4 seasons of combined collegiate ball and summer ball. Then had 13.2 strikeouts per 9 with Keystone, and has been in double digits his last 2 seasons with Bourne and Greenville this summer. Up at 9 at Keystone as well. So you've seen that progression, and the ratio of strikeouts to walks has greatly increased as well. It's always cool seeing how much a pitcher can change from maybe not being the highest touted prospect at the start of his career. Payoff pitch fouled off. We'll do it again with 2 outs and runners on 2 and 3.
That's just how the human body works. Guys develop at different ages. There's some players who, reach their athletic peak at 17, 18, and that helps you a lot when it comes to recruiting. You have your big schools looking at you. There's other guys who, it's not till they're 22, 23 when they fully, get developed.
3-2 swing and a foul tip back into the glove of Paradine. So it's a scoreless first inning for the YD Red Sox. Took a little while, but Quinn Holt got the job done. We'll step aside now for a quick break here in the first inning at Dorn Park. And when we come back, Bourne bring their bats out for the first time today. The 3 up first, John LeGrande, Cade Lewis, and Cal Sefcik.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Reds, the right equipment when and where you need it.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Welcome you back now for the bottom of the first inning here at Dorn Park. Clay Hendry on the mound for the YD Red Sox has had a solid season so far, some ups, some downs, but gets the start today. Was not the starter earlier today. This Bourne team has seen him before, as Bourne will look to win the season series without taking a loss. They've got a win and 2 ties. This one the 4th and final game that these two meet in the regular season. Clay Hendry out of North Florida has pitched 10 1/3 innings so far for YD, 3 appearances and 2 of them starts with a 5.23 ERA. He has a 3-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, slider. And why don't we quickly go over that defensive alignment from YD for you. At third base, it's Armando Briseño. The shortstop is Jack Bell, and Jomar Carreras is the second baseman. As that one's into the outfield, John LeGrande gets going quick. Or excuse me, I gave you the wrong alignment at first. It's Hakopian at third base, Bell at second base, or rather shortstop, Briseño at second, and Nedved at first. In the outfield, Jordan Crosland, Jace Tharnish, and Nick Costello. Connor Capisi is catching for the pitcher in Clay Hendry.
Last second change in the lineup today for the YD Red Sox at this point of the season, where there's just some things that happen right before the game, and it seems like the last 4 or 5 games we've had a lineup change 10 minutes before, and maybe all of them.
It's been pretty much like that. Makes our job a little harder, but as long as it's leading to some fun baseball, we're not complaining.
Well, 2 nights ago we had 3 guys in left, 3 guys in center, 2 in right, the entire infield change.
A pitcher hit. Almost had that happen yesterday if the game went into extras, as Bourne waived their designated hitter. Maybe saw the success of it in the game before and was like, we can do this again. Cade Lewis at the plate. He's got a 1-0 count after LeGrande had a pickoff attempt toward him. Great to see LeGrande get back in the lineup and already show he's where he left off. Grande was struggling before his off day yesterday. Did come in as a pinch hitter and went 1 for 1. Now he's got 2 hits in a row and is looking to find that magic he did toward the first 2 weeks of July and all the way through June. Hendry on the mound coming off his best start of the season. Looking for a similar performance today. As LeGrande goes this time, the pitch is low for a ball, and the throw into second base is just high and away from the diving shortstop. Now a runner in scoring position for Lewis. Bourne looking to attack here in the first inning. It's something they've been able to do recently as far as scoring early in games. Did it yesterday, did it the game before against Falmouth as well.
I do think that there's definitely a big emphasis from Scott Landers on, especially early in this game, continuing the momentum offensively. You really just don't want to go into the playoffs looking back, and the last game you played, you only had 1 or 2 hits and you weren't able to bring home runs. This is such a contagious sport. Just one game can change everything, even if it's one that doesn't really matter in terms of seeding.
Swing and a miss on the 3-1. Yeah, you talked about it in the pregame, but this is just a game you shouldn't look as meaningless. No game is meaningless here in the Cape. Although this one may feel like it.
And, there's also these guys still, of course, playing for personal pride, and there's some pretty big, league leaders potentially on the line today. You could see one of these guys, if they have a big day, potentially win the batting title.
That's a swing and a miss, strike 3 for Cade Lewis. First K of the day for Hendry. That one his 10th of the season.
Riker Waite right now is 18 points below the league leader Ryan McKay when it comes to batting average. So, if he has a good day, McKay doesn't get some hits, and a couple guys above also go over, then there is absolutely a chance for Riker Waite to get up there. John LeGrande's moved into the top 10 in batting average in the league. That stuff definitely matters to these guys, and it's something that coaches look at, scouts look at, those league leaderboards.
Yeah, not just the pride you talked about before, but also your own draft stock, right? This league is the most attractive to scouts of all summer leagues. Gets a lot of attention for a good reason. Sefcik down 0-2 in the count. He had a historic day yesterday, 5 for 5, a run scored, and an RBI. And he's just been a player who's been so consistent. Has only had one non-multi-hit game in his last 6. Batting average all the way up to .429, now in his 16th game. And it's just extraordinarily impressive what he's been able to bring to the table. Another one of those late season additions who's making a bigger impact than anybody over the last 2 weeks, I'd say, offensively. Maybe not with the RBIs, but just getting on base. Has 24 hits, and if you remove qualification, does lead this team in batting average for active players.
Well, second behind Matthew Sapienza, right?
Well,
1
Sapienza
for 1, the pitcher.
Released earlier today,
oh,
unfortunately, so no longer does he qualify as far as active players go. But he will retire his 2025 Cape League season as the OPS and batting average leader in the entire Cape League. Of course, with 1 plate appearance. The 2-2 is smacked to center. That one sends Tharnish back. He seems to have a beat and grabs it. Tagging toward third is John LeGrande. He does it with a slide and is there safely. So it's a base advancing fly out for Cal Sefcik. Still a productive at-bat for the right-hander out of Cincinnati.
Definitely puts that runner on third base, and now a chance for Bourne to take the first lead of the game here.
Riker Waite will have the opportunity to do it. Day off yesterday, did have a little bit of a scary collision in shallow center field his last time at Doran Park, but he's good enough to play, so that's always a great sign. He's been toward the top of this team's stats in every category for the most part. Up there in RBIs, batting average. Has been with this team since game 1, but does play second base, interestingly enough, today. Usually the shortstop for Bourne, but Ryan Cooney, a phenomenal day at short. You give him the opportunity to captain the infield.
And I think that's, a smart decision by Scott Landers to give Cooney that opportunity to play short. He's the second baseman at Oregon, and it's a team that brings back its starting shortstop in Maddox Maloney. Waite has a chance to be the starter at Vandy next year, so, put him at second here, give him an opportunity to play another position, and give Cooney an opportunity to play at short.
We'll be interested to see the defensive alignment once the playoffs start, if that goes back to Riker at short and Cooney at second, which has been the combination we've grown to become familiar with. Here's the 1-2 to Riker. He grounds it foul to the right side. One ball, 2 strikes the count from Hendry. He's got 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. The 1-2. Swing, MS, foul tip back into the glove of Capisi, and that's the second strikeout and third out here in the first inning. Great to have you with us here at Doran Park for Game 40 of the Cape League season. Why don't we send things to the second inning on the other side of this break on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
The same way, I ain't nothing but tired. Man, I'm just tired.
training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Rents, the right equipment when and where you need it.
It's Tommy McAndrews at the plate for YD. He faces off against Quinn Holt now in the top of the second inning. It's a 0-0 ball game here at Dorn Park. First pitch from Holt. And there on a curveball for strike one. Bourne's defensive alignment for you. Kate Lewis at third base, Ryan Cooney at short, Riker Waite at second, and Jason Torres at first. The outfield from left to right is the new guy, Luke Costello, John LaGrande in center, and Sebastian Mexico in right field. And catching for the pitcher in Holt is Aiden Paradine. That's those new green catcher gear that you see that you probably haven't noticed before if you're a big fan of Bourne. We've had the red and blue, the black and gold, just the straight red, blue and gold, and now green. The 1-2. Ball just misses high and inside. Holt looking to be a little bit more efficient this inning than compared to his first. Did not allow a run to score, did not allow a hit, but 3 free passes on walks. This one is hammered to center field. LaGrande ranging back, the wind helping it be short in this ballpark, and it's into the glove of LaGrande for out one.
Wind blowing in from right field today, as it so often does here at Dorn Park. Just 5 miles an hour with gusts up to 10, so not as much of an impact as we've seen a few times this year, but it still definitely will keep some balls a little bit closer than others to going out.
Especially those balls with a higher exit angle. It's Jordan Crossland now. Takes the first pitch outside. Crossland is a Maryland Terrapin. Going into his 4th game now. He's still hitless with this YD team. The 1-0. Misses inside. One fouled back, and we're into a 2-1 count.
Crossland, a former Cal Ripken leaguer, just like the man on the mound, Quinn Holt. He was a teammate of Jonathan Stevens with the Bethesda Big Train last summer. Also, Jackson Baker, who plays for Bourne right now.
2-1 misses inside. Yeah, those Cal Ripken leaguers have, a lot of them made it up to the Cape and been really productive. Jonathan Stevens, now a Minnesota Twin after leaving Bourne. He signed his contract and is heading to the minor leagues. This one popped up shallow down the first base line. The catcher in Paradine has it. And that's 2 up, 2 down for Holt right here. Good to see Holt be a little bit more efficient this inning, Adam. It's important to see Holt not let that first inning affect him and go back to what he did against Chatham right here. If you were to see those 3 passes again, maybe you start to get a little bit concerned about how Holt does today.
Yes, but at the same time, this is what he did against Chatham. Put 2 runners in scoring position in the first inning of that game before facing the minimum 4 straight innings. So I think you're just really happy that he put up a 0 in the first, and now you got a chance to, have a really good start from him.
Jack Bell, the shortstop out of TCU. He's playing in his 29th game today, a batting average of just 153. 1-1. He cracks to the right side, and it is foul. .65 right-hander on the mound, and Holtz. Here's the 1-2. Just low. Holt's pitch mix, by the way, a 4-seamer, 2-seamer, changeup, cutter, and slider. I think he's the only guy on this Bourne team with a 2-seamer. The 2-2. Over the plate, no swing, and it's there for strike 3. Just like he did last time, the opposing team threatens in the first, but it's a minimum inning for Holt here in the second. Sends things to a break now after his second K of the day. We'll be back after a moment on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network, 8 League TV.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financing journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
We're offering 0% for 60 months on CAT's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
New pitcher on the mound for the YD Red Sox. Chris Downs steps in. The 6'7" hurler out of Cal Poly replaces the starter Clay Hendry. Hendry went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, but no earned runs, and also had a strikeout. That hit came from John LeGrande. He was the first batter of the game. And Downs here will step in relief. Maybe a bullpen game today for the YD Red Sox.
Downs got the start in, I think you could argue, one of the most entertaining games of the NCAA tournament this past year in the Eugene Regional. The 3-seed Cal Poly played the 4-seed Utah Valley in an elimination game. That was one that went all the way into extra innings, and it was a really good outing for Downs in that game, as they really needed a long start in an elimination game. He went 6 1/3 and gave up just 5 hits, 3 runs. He walked 1 and struck out 8. So this is a guy who's pitched in really high leverage situations before.
Mexico comes around, and that's the first strikeout for Downs of the game. Downs a 1.93 ERA in 8 appearances and 2 starts with YD this season, a total of 18 2/3 innings. The 5th most experienced guy inning-wise on the season. That one put into center for a swing from Luke Costello. Good drop all the way out the wall, and there. Costello rounds towards second, and in his debut with the Bourne Braves, does it just about as good as you could.
I don't know if my giggle just came through my headset, but that's just unreal. You know, I don't know how Scott Landers does it. He finds these guys, he brings them in the last week of the season. Luke Costello, who played in 41 games and hit 290 at Wake Forest, comes in, and why not just get an extra base hit your first time at the plate in the Cape League? It's just unreal. You look at guys like him, there's no other team in this league that adds a player on the last day of the regular season like Luke Costello, who had almost 20 extra base hits as a freshman in the ACC.
He was spectacular out of Wake Forest, hit 290. Ryan Cooney now up as a runner in scoring position. Costello did spend 12 games with the Amsterdam Mohawks in the PGCBL, where he hit 350. Did have to leave early due to a finger injury, though, but now he comes back and joins the Cape. The pitch goes wild, and it's on to third for Costello, so he could make this a really quick trip back to the dugout in a good way.
And that was an Amsterdam Mohawks team that really needed Costello. They did not make the PGCBL championship for the first time in a long time this year. Actually fell to the Saugerties Stallions, who the Bourne Braves have sent a few players to over the last few years, very notably Ethan Conrad.
The 0-2 pitch. Slow. The good thing about Costello's injury is it was timed early in the season. The PGCBL starts a lot earlier than the Cape League, so he'd already played in a good amount of games and has been able to rest quite a bit before now joining the Braves. 1-2's outside as the infield creeps in.
Yeah, by the time he was done in the perfect game league, the Cape season was barely getting started. Almost every summer league is coming to an end during the playoffs other than the Cape. It's, you know, really the only league that goes into the middle of August other than the Northwoods, who, of course, played 72 regular season games.
2-2 left side, and Cooney's got an RBI. The Bourne Braves on top in the final regular season game of the season. Costello goes back to the dugout after scoring a run, beginning with his extra base hit. And something to notice right there, a quick conversation between Costello and Torres. Just a veteran move. He's feeding information about the pitcher already. He's not even been here for a day.
Yeah, and, you know, that's just the type of player that Scott Landers brings in. And, you know, he brings in guys who just know what they're doing. That's something that everyone should do at this level. When you're going to the dugout, talk to the guy on deck. And, you know, that's not something you have to worry about with Costello coming from Wake Forest.
Jason Torres, the new batter. He cracks one up the middle, maybe a broken bat. This could be two. Solo step on second for Briseño, and he gets it to first in time. One run comes around for the Bourne Braves right here as they'll lead the game 1-0 over the YD Red Sox. Before we step aside here at Doran Park, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com. Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Quince Holt still out there on the mound for Bourne as we step aside and come back for the top of the third inning on the other side of this break on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
My heart might tell me so. I can't feel a thing from my head down.
Offering 0% for 60 months on Cat's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
It's a 1-0 ball game at Doran Park, and Quinn Holt continues his day on the mound. We just saw a fantastic opening debut from Luke Costello. I want to talk more about those late season additions, Adam. You described it as a giggle when it happened. I feel like that's what we've been seeing out of this Bourne Brave team recently. I did that same thing when Cal Sefcik got his 5th hit yesterday, went 5 for 5 as the first pitch from Holt against the batter in Capisi is there for a ball. When Sebastian Mexico had a fantastic game yesterday, you just laugh because it's ridiculous how Scott Landers does his business and brings in these fantastic players, not from the opening day roster, but late in the season.
And there's multiple things that those guys bring. It's not just that they do really good out on the field, but it's also the fact that they bring that energy and they bring those vibes in the dugout. A lot of the time, that's much needed at this point in the season. A lot of these guys have been here throughout the entire year, especially on this Bourne roster. You look up and down, and there are almost double-digit players who have played in more than 20 games. Some of these new guys' energy really has made a difference in the dugout. It's a lot more lively. There's just more smiles, and it's absolutely one of the things that you get when you bring new guys in.
Still have yet to see one of those new guys taken at bat. It's the catcher Aiden Paradine, but he's had a pretty solid game so far. After working a 3-0 count, it's up to a full count. Quinn Holt faced the minimum in the second inning, going 1-2-3 with a strikeout to retire the side. He's looking to do a similar thing here against the righty in Capisi. The pitch fouled off. Bourne, a team that is kind of hitting their stride right now. You look at these previous seasons, Adam, you were here for it last year. Hitless in the last 6, or rather, lossless in the last 6. Some wins and ties as that one's popped up to the right side. Easy play for the second baseman, Wade. Bourne right now could go into the playoffs with a 3-game winning streak and having won 4 of their last 5. It's what you need to do at this time of the year.
It is, and you look back at some of the additions to the team last year, and there's no doubt that there's a similar feeling. I get that kind of similar vibe talking to a player like Sebastian Mexico that I did David Lewis last year. Your guys who, have spent time at smaller schools, played in other leagues, and, really care.
It's a tough play for Cooney at shortstop. It's going to be an E6 as the top of the order batter in Jace Tharnish gets on base. Have not ruled it an error yet, but likely to be the call. Cooney playing shortstop today. That now his second error at the shortstop position this season. Was just spectacular yesterday. Made some silly plays and gave you a lot of hope. You have depth at that shortstop position, which really was not something you expected to have this late in the season.
And they actually do give the infield single for Tharnish, so there's the first hit of the day for YD.
Quinn Holt no longer hitless. Last Bourne starter here at Doran Park went 5 innings hitless. That was Reese Bowie. Talking about that roster construction, Adam, it's a lot different for Bourne than it was toward the start of this year. You look at every single position now, and you have depth everywhere. I mean, it's pretty remarkable.
And just today they've done that.
Yeah. You now have 3 catchers, Gavin Kelly, Aiden Paradine, and Mark Quitrani. 4 middle infielders in Gavin Kelly, Ryan Cooney, Riker Wade, and Drew Wires. As the runner's going to go this time, and it's a hit and run into the outfield. This could be trouble. Mexico's going to grab it. The throw over to first in time, but off the mark. So Tharnish really gets away with one. Didn't realize it was going to be caught off Briseño's bat until quite late. He stays at first and is A-okay as Hakopian comes up. Your corner infielders, you have Braden Holcomb, Cade Lewis, Jason Torres, Drew Wires. And overall, you have 6 players who can play the outfield. Costello, LeGrande, Mexico, and Sefcik all rostered there, but Gavin Kelly and Braden Holcomb both as a catcher and infielder respectively, have also played in the outfield.
Colton Hartman right now warming up for the Braves in the bullpen. I wouldn't be surprised if Scott Landers had a set pitching schedule coming into this game of, no matter how good Holt does, he's going to come out after 3 or 4 because, Hartman's already pitched, but you got 2 guys on the roster in Saxton Roberts and Timmy Lawson who still haven't pitched, and you really want them to make their, first appearance here with Bourne today. You don't want them to pitch for the first time in the playoffs. So, looks like we'll see Hartman in pretty early, and then, again, I wouldn't be surprised if no matter what, his day is pretty short, and we get to the bullpen and we get to see Lawson and Roberts at some point.
As far as starters go, good to give Holt as much rest as possible because there's a chance there's no off day for Bourne. It could be on Saturday that Holt pitches. Runners going again with 2 outs, and this one popped up once again. Riker Waite calls everyone off and makes the grab for out 3. It's another damageless inning as Quinn Holt is through 3. 1-0 the score for the Bourne Braves. They're going to look to add to their total as we then send things to the bottom of the 3rd inning on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Rents, the right equipment when and where you need it.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
It's another new pitcher into the game for the YD Red Sox as we live in the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Doran Park. Likely a bullpen game as we were discussing earlier for this YD team. Just going to throw maybe a new arm every inning or try and get as many guys experience today in their final regular season game. Now last inning it was a Ryan Cooney RBI that brought home Luke Costello. Costello made his debut with his double back in the 2nd inning, and now it's Aiden Paradine. Paradine also making his debut here. He hit .370 with Siena, and most recently with Danbury in the NECBL, hit .263. A real squat in his stance, and the pitcher he faces this time is Landry. That one popped out to shallow right field. Not as glamorous as the other man making his debut. Only one pitch, and he goes down with an out.
Landry, a really interesting guy. Very lanky as a southpaw, stands at 6'6", 185. Very old, he's already 25. He started off his college career at Cypress College. That's where Scott Pickler's the head coach, so there's your connection. These two know each other pretty well. He's a Cali guy, and he's got some of the more interesting stuff out on the Cape. Fastball tops out in the mid to low 80s, usually around 83, 84. But he's got a really slow curveball that's really tough to hit.
This bunt put really far down the 3rd base line from LeGrande. He can't get it. He had maybe the most perfect bunt I've ever seen yesterday, Adam. Just that perfect little blooper that no one could get to. Was talking to him about it, and he just put his head down and run. He didn't realize how good it was because, of course, he didn't watch it. LeGrande saying there's something wrong with his jersey maybe a little bit, retucking it in on his front side.
Yeah, I just had to look right. Joe Gravina, home plate umpire, saying, just fix your fashion here for a second before you step back in the box.
I'll hold the bat for you.
Look good, play good. Got to have the jersey tucked in.
The 0-1. That one runs up and hits Legrande. Man, he's been battered this season.
Yeah, I mean, he just can't catch a break. Getting hit by a pitch, it feels like almost every game. He's had a couple kind of tough slides where he's jammed something, but he is an absolute soldier. You have to give all the props in the world to Legrande. Playing in 38 of 40 games this summer after playing in almost every single game at Wake Forest, and playing through some, or at St. John's, I should say, playing through some, not injuries, but some times where you get hurt,
some bruises.
Yeah, it's always a really interesting thing for these guys who tough it out, and I have all the respect in the world for guys like Legrande because, for a player like him who wants to play minor league baseball next year, you have to play through it. It doesn't matter if your shoulder's a little bit sore. Professional organization is going to expect you to play throughout the entire summer. So, Legrande understands that, and as a guy who hopes to get selected next year in the MLB draft, he is playing all summer and battling through things, and you have to think that scouts see that and really like seeing that.
Don't think there's been anybody else as tested physically as Legrande on this Braves team this season. And like you said, it just shows more out of a player when they can get hit and get back up. It's a little Rocky quote for you. Cade Lewis at the plate.
I was going to say don't hate me, but I've never watched any of the Rocky movies.
Up the middle. We'll talk about that comment in a moment, as this could be two, and it is. The inning, you're saved by the bell right there, Adam, as I can't criticize you for not seeing any Rocky movies, but nevertheless, we send things to a short break. Before that, a word from our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky.
Last night, Cal Sefcik went 5 for 5 in the game against Katuitt. A Bourne Brave hasn't gone 5 for 5 since 2016. I asked field manager Scott Landers about him after the game, and he said he's been huge for this team since returning. He puts great at-bats together. He has a flat swing, so he's able to execute a lot, and he's not fooled in the box. He just is there to hit and execute whatever is put in front of him offensively. Cal told me recently this is the best he's seen the ball all season, including his collegiate season, and he just wants to keep it going.
Thank you so much, Ariel. Cal Sefcik will be the first batter up in the bottom of the fourth inning, but first, a new pitcher on the mound for the Bourne Braves when we come back. It's Colton Hartman, and he'll be joined by a new voice for play-by-play, Adam Gotkin. He'll have you for the middle innings. We'll step aside for a short moment here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
There's a zero chance that you'll want to miss our 0% for 72 months offer. For a limited time, CAD is offering 0% on the purchase of many new small excavators. That's 0% for better performance. 0% for next generation features.
Great machine. It's quite impressive.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's zero time left.
Into the middle innings here at Durham Park. The Bourne Braves lead the Whitey Red Sox 1-0 on the final night of the regular season. And it's a new pitcher into the game for the Bravos. Colton Hartman, the left-hander out of Louisville, comes in after a solid start from Quinn Holt. 3 innings. He gave up just 1 hit, didn't give up any runs. He walked 3 in the first inning, none after that, and he struck out 2. So before we get into Hartman here, interesting outing for Holt. I think, Devon, that there's no doubt that Scott Landers is looking at this game as what it is, in that it's not going to have any impact on the standings, and you want Holt to be able to come back potentially in 5 or 6 days, and you just don't want him to overuse his arm.
Yeah, I imagine there's a schedule this game. He wanted Holt to go 3 innings unless he got into trouble earlier. You have Hartman, you have other guys like Timmy Lawson and Saxon Roberts who you are pretty much 100% going to see this game. And it's just a matter of which inning it is, because there's a schedule. After Hartman pitches maybe 1 or 2, then it's the next guy and the guy after that.
We've seen YD with their pitchers go with 3 guys in 3 innings, so this is without a doubt an interesting game. Hartman misses inside. He is making now he's making his 6th appearance on the summer, a guy who's in his 2nd year on the Cape after playing with the Katuitt Cavaliers last year. Has an ERA of 9 and 6 innings. He does have a save. 5 hits, 6 runs, 6 of them earned. He's walked 7 and struck out 10. It's been 4 incredible outings and 1 where things just didn't go his way. 4 where he hasn't given up a run, 3 where he hasn't given up a hit, and then 1 where he gave up 6 runs. So Hartman just hoping that this can be a bounce back and another solid outing after he bounced back in his last one.
I'd probably say 3 incredible outings. That first one against Wareham where he did earn the save. He was saved by the rain.
Incredible on the stat line.
Yes.
More than actually
exactly.
what it looked. That popped up, foul out of play down the first base line.
He allowed, I believe it was 3 or 4 runs from Wareham, but the rain eliminated that inning from even being considered, so it was okay for his stat line.
Looked like that foul ball went right into a big group of Whitey Red Sox interns. So I wonder if maybe they got a ball. We're still
I would be really upset if they did, Adam.
Yeah.
If the broadcaster specifically did, because we've been
It wasn't
searching
them. It
for
was
one.
further back.
Okay,
it was up on
good.
the stands. I don't know if any of our Bourne interns have got a in-game foul ball. As there's called strike 3. Perfect fastball from Hartman on the full count. And he starts his day with a K against Nick Costello.
I think I may have seen our beat writer Lyle Alenstein running after some foul balls earlier this season.
Yeah,
he asked me
I don't
for
know if
his
he got
glove.
any, though.
Okay, fair enough.
Here's Ryan Nedved making his debut today. Struck out swinging to end the top of the first, his first time up. Hartman, a native of Lebanon, Ohio. Puts his arms up and now comes into the line with the 1-0. This is upstairs. Edgeridge making his debut today. He comes from Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, Division I school in the Ohio Valley Conference.
That makes sense.
In what way?
No ways, because it's the Ohio Valley and you're from Southern Illinois.
Well,
I guess the valley is a general area, not just specific
it's
to
not
the state of
a
Ohio.
valley in Ohio. It's the Ohio Valley,
right?
Which would be the wider range. As there's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Nedved, and there's a runner on for the Red Sox here in the 4th.
Now batting in Fordham, designated hitter number 44, Tommy McAndrews.
Here's Tommy McAndrews, the designated hitter. He flew out into center field. By the way, the Ohio Valley, because now I'm curious, it is what runs along the Ohio River. So it extends into Pennsylvania, West Virginia, North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, a little bit of Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, Indiana, and Illinois. So all of those states
but mostly
are in the Ohio Valley.
I would mostly look at it as just West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and then a little bit outside of that.
Yeah, but really, there's much more of West Virginia and Kentucky in the Ohio Valley than Ohio itself, the entire top part of the state of Ohio not in the valley. Actually, New York is in the Ohio Valley for a little bit, too.
Yeah, right by Erie.
And that Buffalo area.
Yeah.
0-2 the count to Thomas McAndrews. You know, it just reminded me something kind of crazy I saw today about that Buffalo area. Did you know that it's the only city over 100,000 people in the country that has not ever reached 100 degrees? Buffalo, New York. Really? And I have a crazier thing for you.
Okay.
There was one city, because this is why it came up, because this was all over social media. There's one city that just reached 100 degrees for the first time ever 2 days ago. Over 100,000 people. What city do you think that would be?
I'm going to say it's a colder spot.
Nope. There's your no. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's one of the craziest things I think I've ever seen, and I still don't believe it, but it's true.
Let me rack my brain. I'll give you an answer at the end of this inning.
All right.
Because I want to think about this.
It's fouled back. And then, so it now has one 100-degree day, and there's another city that also has just one 100-degree day in history that also makes no sense. And again, this is recorded temperature. This isn't feels like. It has nothing to do with humidity. It's just the pure temperature in the air. For the first time ever, I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, it got over 100. 1-2. Swinging a high drive towards left field. That's heading towards the foul line, and it drops out of play.
All right, I'll take a guess.
Go ahead.
Oklahoma City?
Nope.
Okay. And the answer?
Tampa, Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
You know,
Tampa, Florida reached 100 degrees for the first time ever last week, and Miami, Florida has only ever reached 100 degrees once in recorded history.
You know what? My guess was in a place that was more, like, would be affected by, for example, the wind and.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with.
Or I guess that's just real feel.
I feel like Oklahoma City might have been one of the worst options you could have picked.
Probably. I was thinking like tornadoes and stuff. If that.
Well, that's because of extreme heat. Tornadoes is the heat and cold air mixing.
That's true.
There's swing and a miss, strike 3 from McAndrews, and it's 2 strikeouts with a walk sandwiched in between to start for Colton Hartman. Yeah, I couldn't believe that Tampa had never reached 100 degrees. It was because of the heat dome over it, as well as a lack of sea breezes that go into Tampa. So I guess of where it's situated on the bay, because Tampa itself, isn't on the Gulf. It's a little bit inland, and then there's Tampa Bay, of course, which is what the sports teams are named after, not the actual city. Like, you have St. Petersburg, I think Clearwater maybe, west of Tampa when you get to the Gulf, and so that probably maybe gets a little bit of the heat, and then however it is, once you get into the bay, it gets a little bit chillier. And Miami, of its one ever officially recorded 100-degree day, that was in 1942.
Huh.
Yeah. It is insane. Key West has never officially hit 100 degrees, but it's the heat index that actually matters. That's your feels like, and that's got it above 115 in Key West. So
gotcha.
Yeah, it's pretty
humidity.
nuts.
Yeah.
Jordan Crossland and a 1-0 count. Runner going with 2 outs. Crossland slaps it into right field. Mexico moves over and makes the catch for out number 3. Colton Hartman gets a pair of Ks and walks a man in the top of the 4th, but leaves that runner at first base. And we're into the bottom of the 4th inning here at Durham Park with the Braves up 1-0.
It's raining, everybody's in the play.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Reds. The right equipment when and where you need it.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Into the bottom of the fourth here at Dorn Park, and finally the YD Red Sox keep a pitcher in the game for a second inning. Josh Landry heads back out onto the mound. Clay Hendry went 1 inning to start. Chris Downs then threw the second. Landry came in the third and faced the minimum. He retired the first man he saw, then hit someone, but got into a inning-ending double play. The Braves have hit into inning-ending double plays in back-to-back innings. Here's Cal Sepsic to lead things off. He flew out to center his first time up. First pitch, a very slow curveball fouled off. Landry's been pretty successful in his time on the Cape so far, and a big reason for it is just because of how different he is than most of the other pitchers. His fastball is so slow, the curveball is really just completely different from basically anything we've seen all year, as Sepsic pops one up towards the first baseman. And Ned Dredge makes the catch for out number 1. But it's just uncomfortable for a lot of these guys, Devon, to see a pitcher that they're not used to, especially these Division I guys who are used to mid-90s.
Right, exactly. And that's what we saw from Sepsic right there. He saw 2 breaking balls. Both of them he threw protect swings at, and both of them were not very great swings. He was just trying to keep it safe. And the second one he couldn't do much with, so low that he put it up in the air and, of course, caught by the first baseman.
Here's Riker Waite, the cleanup hitter. He struck out swinging to end the bottom of the first his first time up. Josh Landry spends his springs at Hope International University in Fullerton, California.
He was actually the intended starter for this game up until about 12. Then they threw Clay Hendry in to be the starter.
It's a Hope International program that has been really good out in California. Landry was named a second-team All-American in NAIA with them, and they just had their first Major League Baseball starter. David Morgan, a former Hope International player, just got the start for the San Diego Padres the other day. They also had a player selected in the Major League Draft this past year, right-handed pitcher Trey Seeley. This past year for Hope International was a really good one. They went 48-10 and went on a really long run in the tournament, made it all the way to the NAIA College World Series before falling to LSU Shreveport. And that was a team that was just an absolute wagon, undefeated 59-0 LSU Shreveport. You can't really blame Hope International for losing to a team that didn't lose a single game all year. Two-two, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Landry starts his bottom of the fourth, retiring the first 2 batters. That's his first strikeout. And here is Sebastian Mexico, the right fielder. He struck out swinging his first time up. Mexico at a Louisiana Tech, heading back there for his senior season next year. Had a chance to catch up with him before the game. He said he can't wait to get back to Louisiana Tech. It is a place that treated him incredibly this past year after he started off his collegiate career at Fordham. Mexico was telling me that those fans at Louisiana Tech are special. Really not a surprise when you just think about baseball fans down south. He said that they named the right field berm the Gulf of Mexico after him because he was playing so well.
Sent a few balls to keep over the right field wall, maybe.
Hit a number of home runs this past year for the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Now, Louisiana Tech's athletic program does something interesting that there's a couple schools that do, but not many anymore. They changed their mascot for women's basketball. They're not the Bulldogs, they're the Lady Texters.
Interesting.
Some teams do that. Tennessee did that for a while, the Lady Bulls.
Now, the only example I can think of, it does not exactly fit that, but Hobart and William Smith colleges are the same
Yeah, two
place.
different schools.
Right.
They're just...
I mean, the men and women still have classes together.
Yeah.
It's just what it says on your diploma.
Different. 2-2, Mrs. Low and outside to Mexico.
The Hobart Statesmen and the William Smith Herons.
Bourne's got one of its baseball operations members from Hobart University, Christian Petrie, one of their top infielders. That's up in central New York, right near where Devon and I go to school and near where Scott Landers coaches at Oswego. The payoff pitch, Mexico gets a piece of it.
Just on the top of Seneca Lake, a very beautiful view onto the second largest Finger Lake.
Two pretty small schools, Division III in basically every sport except Hobart, Division I in men's lacrosse. Very, very historic lacrosse program that's been around for over 100 years. Here's the payoff. And that's ball 4 to Mexico.
And interestingly, Hobart is D3 in hockey, but the rest of the Liberty League, which is the conference that they're in, are D1 in hockey. St. Lawrence, Clarkson, two pretty solid women's programs.
Here's Luke Costello. See if he can follow up his first at-bat with Bourne with something just as good. That was a double into center. He then came in to score. So he's got an OPS of 3,000. Not too bad. Takes the first pitch in for a strike.
OPS of 3,000. Yeah.
Is that not what I said?
Thought it may have been 2.
Slugging percentage of 2,000. OPS of
Yes.
3,000. Mexico back to first in time.
So he took the title away from Matthew Sapienza.
Yeah, what a shame.
Yeah,
After
right?
a couple of days with that 2,000 OPS, 1-for-1 with a single. Ground ball towards the left side. Akopian fires to first in time for out number 3. Before we go to break and send things to the 5th, are you ready to dominate the diamond and pitch like a pro with the Cape Zone Keith Bildo? Then join us at the Capeplex, where champions are made. Don't just play the game, own it. Visit the Capeplex today and unleash your full potential. Located at 6 Forest Park Drive in Bourne. Find us on Facebook or at the k-plex.com. Elevate your game at the Capeplex. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community. Conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at keystoneplace at buzzardsbay.com. Back for a moment in the 5th inning. The Braves lead it 1-0.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
There's a 0 chance that you'll want to miss our 0% for 72 months offer. For a limited time, CAT is offering 0% on the purchase of many new small excavators. That's 0% for better performance, 0% for next generation features.
Great machine. It's quite impressive.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
Jack Bell leads off for the Bourne Braves as we're for the Whitey Red Sox as we're into the 5th inning. The Bourne Braves lead it 1-0. Bell, the number 8 hitter, struck out swinging his first time up to end the 2nd. Hartman's first pitch. The ball upstairs on the fastball. can definitely tell that the field here at Dorn Park is still recovering from some really heavy rain earlier in the week. Spots right in front of home plate and at shortstop. Just really the spots that are used more than any other. A little bit darker.
Yep.
And, you know, we're trying our best here at Dorn Park, but no tarps. So whenever there's really hard rain, it's hard for the field to not just get absolutely flooded.
But, Adam, great news. The groundskeeper Batman showed up earlier today.
Yes. Charlie Peterson, who came here last year, I think it was in the Cape League Championship, as that ball's lined into right center and it gets down. It's just a single for Jack Bellis. He stops at first. I can actually look back because I have my full sideline report notes, I think, from when I talked to Charlie last year. It was
better known as Curly as well.
Yes, Curly Peterson, Charlie Peterson. On August 10th last year, he was here because the field got absolutely ravaged by a storm. He came in and fixed the mound, fixed everything. He was back here today working on the field. He is a just absolute baseball fanatic from the Boston area. Curly grew up as a massive Red Sox fan, played at Northeastern, actually played a game at Fenway Park and played really well in that game. He has worked on baseball fields for now 50 years. He loves doing it. It's his favorite thing in the world. And, you know, whenever something goes wrong here at Dorn Park, he's just a phone call away, and he's here anytime. We give him a bunch of gear. We can see him up watching the game right now. Just a true baseball fanatic. People like Curly make this league special.
Well, I'll tell you right now, he actually, the reason I called him Batman is because he was not called to come here. He just showed up and told our general manager, Matt Karras, I figured you guys would need some help. So the rain, maybe the bat signal for him to come and fix Dorn Park.
I assumed he would have got the call because he got it last year.
No, he just showed up.
Yeah.
And he did the job, fixed the bullpen mounds and home plate. I'm sure he'll be here all day and maybe work after the game is over.
Curly's awesome. He's one of those guys that when you go up to him, you can't leave. He's going to start a hour-long conversation with you and just not stop. And, you know, we've given him a bunch of gear for all of his help. It's people like him that make this league possible.
I think also an embodiment of the Bourne Brave culture of just family.
Yeah, anyone is welcome. Anyone in this organization is welcome. Runner going to second. The pitch is fouled off. Of course, a non-profit league out here on Cape Cod. There's no paid employees. Even the coaches aren't paid. They just get some stipends. None of us interns paid. None of the board members. Everyone here is just doing it as a volunteer. And everyone is so thankful. Cape Cod baseball is, I think, without a doubt, one of the best traditions that we have in this great country. It's been around for now 102 years, and it really hasn't changed, and it's because of people like that. Ground ball to short. This could be 2, 6, 4, 3. It's a double play. The Braves have turned a double play almost every game this season. That's the 35th in 40 games, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Tonight's also Host Family Appreciation Night here at Dorn Park. One of the very, very special things about the Cape League, the host families. That's, you know, something that goes all throughout summer baseball around the country, but especially on the Cape, where you're very, very lucky to find a local player. These people open their houses to people that they've never met before. Guys who show up literally that day and are told where they're going to go live. And the beds are there, food is made, everything is there for them, and it's just, you know, such an incredible thing, and we're so lucky to have such great host families here in Bourne. That's one of the things that I think is, without a doubt, one of the reasons why Bourne is so good every year is the host families make these players happy. They make them want to stay, they treat them well, and it's just another one of those things that helps create that winning culture in Bourne.
You know, it was interesting. This past Monday, I was talking to Deb Bronkelbank, our head of merchandise here for the Bourne Braves, and her husband. They were with Falmouth for a while, doing merchandise with them, but one of the players who they were the host family for was Jacoby Ellsbury. And they were invited to Jacoby's wedding. The entire 2004 Red Sox team was there, and it was just a special moment and goes to kind of display the connection that these host families have with their players. She said she keeps up with every single player that she's ever had and are very close with all of them.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And it's a really solid inning for Colton Hartman. He's faced just 7 in 2 innings of work, faces the minimum in the top of the 5th. So we send things into the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom of the order up for the Braves when we return.
Been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Rents, the right equipment when and where you need it.
Into the bottom of the 5th here at Dorn Park. The bottom of the order comes to the plate for the Bourne Braves. Back out onto the mound, the left-hander out of Hope International, Josh Landry. Ryan Cooney leads things off. He's got the lone RBI of the game. Hit a single into left back in the 2nd. He's really turned things on over the last couple of weeks. Said that at the start of the summer he was just thinking a little bit too much, and now he's just swinging the bat, doing his thing, and it's without a doubt playing off. Cooney yesterday had an RBI. He walked twice, and he just seems to get a hit almost every game at this point after hitting under 200 for a while.
Yeah, it's really special. Bourne have needed a middle infielder like him who's elite defensively already to bring their bat out as well.
Liner to third, caught by Hakopian in the air, and there's the first out. Cooney's batting average in the last 2 weeks, 270. He has really jumped up.
First baseman number 29, Jason Torres.
Now it's Jason Torres. He hasn't even played for Bourne for 2 weeks. This is just his 12th game of the year. He's batting 156. One of the guys that the Braves are hoping can get hot today. One of the guys that I think this game is extra important for ahead of the playoffs to just try and get into the groove.
Yeah, it's not only for the 2 fresh guys making their debut, but you also look at this as an important game for Jason Torres. See how he can fit in and once again get back to that. Even Sebastian Mexico, who still doesn't have a lot of games under his belt with Bourne, today just his 4th. There's players on the bench of this Bourne team where, considering the habits we've already seen with the pitching staff for Bourne, I imagine there's a chance we see guys like Drew Wires come into this game, who's also relatively new. Nathan Fink as well, another one of those guys.
Wind in the 1-1. This is low and inside. A couple guys starting to get loose out in the Braves bullpen. Colton Hartman, 2 innings into his relief appearance. Josh Landry into his 3rd inning here for the Red Sox. Fastball, a called strike. That looks like Drew Conan warming up for the Bourne Braves. One of the other new members of this pitching staff literally got signed this morning. Roberts and Lawson were here for a couple of days. Conan played with the YD Red Sox earlier this season, so chance for him to potentially play against his old team. He had 2 scoreless outings for YD. And he's another one of those massive additions to the Bourne Braves. Had a low ERA and a bunch of appearances at Virginia. Payoff pitch misses low, and Torres works the walk.
Now batting from Northwest Florida State Junior College, catcher number 22.
No action right now in that YD bullpen. So you probably looked at these first 2 innings from Hendry and Downs as a opener for Landry to go as long as he can. Again, Landry was the original starter in this game, so just switch up the strategy. And now maybe a little better.
Paradine flew out to left field his first time up. Flies one into right here, and it's caught on a line by Costello for the second out. Back up to the top of the order, and John LeGrande, Bourne center fielder, has reached on both of his plate appearances today. A single back in the first. He was hit by a pitch in the third.
Center fielder number 1, John LeGrande.
And it's actually Saxon Roberts wearing number 43, not Conan. So maybe we still see him later today, but it is Roberts warming up in the bullpen right now, the 6'5" right-hander out of Auburn. First pitch, John LeGrande takes a swing and a miss. Breaking ball, low and outside. Landry hasn't seen more than 4 batters in an inning yet. Can get out of this 5th here against the 4th batter in John LeGrande. He hit LeGrande the first time he saw him in the 3rd, but then forced a double play to get out of it facing the minimum. Landry ready. Here's the pitch. Count runs full to 3-2. Grande's got his batting average all the way up to 292 with his hit earlier today. Would love to keep that climbing before the season ends tonight. Potentially get up towards 300. Throw over to first. Torres back in time. He'll have a head start here at the bases loaded and 2 outs. Here's the payoff. Grounder back up the middle. This should do it. Throw to first from Bell is in time. And there's the 3rd out. Once again, Josh Landry puts a runner on first, but gets out of it, as he does in each of the last 3 innings. Before we go to break, we'd like to thank a few of our sponsors. Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com, and go Braves. Are you ready to dominate the diamond and pitch like a pro with the Cape Zone Keith Bildo? Join us at the K-Plex, where champions are made. Don't just play the game, own it. Visit the K-Plex today and unleash your full potential. Located at 6 Forest Park Drive in Bourne. Find us on Facebook or at the K-Plex.com. Elevate your game at the K-Plex. Back in a moment for the 6th inning. We'll see Saxon Roberts make his Bourne Braves debut.
Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Saxon Roberts making his Bourne Braves debut. The right-hander out of Auburn enters in the 6th inning. He'll face off against 2-3-4 in the Red Sox order. Armando Brisena to lead things off. This is Roberts' 2nd stop of the summer. He started off down in Charlottesville in the Valley Baseball League playing for the Tom Sox. Our former play-by-play broadcaster up here in Bourne, now the media director, Nathan Schwartz. We talked about how it's such a small world in baseball. There's just another case of it. Roberts was pretty good for the Tom Sox. He had a 5.06 ERA in 10 2/3. Gave up just 5 hits. He did walk 11. That was really the one place where he struggled. Also struck out 11. Roberts, a native of Birmingham, Alabama. Played his high school ball up in Tennessee at Independence High School. That's popped up towards the first base side. Torres under it. He makes the catch for the first down.
Now batting from Maryland, third baseman number 10.
Roberts, one of the many late additions to this Bourne Braves roster. And Devon, the most impressive thing about these late additions for the Braves is the caliber of schools that they come from. Roberts from Auburn, a perennial top team in the SEC. We talked about Timmy Lawson earlier, a guy from UNC. Bringing in a new pitcher from Virginia, too, and Drew Cohn. That's really the big difference right now between Bourne and some of these other teams, where the new players are coming from.
Not only that, but Scott Landers has recruited people from big schools since the start of this season. I think you had a time where you threw out a lineup there where it was almost only ACC and SEC guys. You don't often see that around the Cape. Some California schools get thrown in there a lot more, but it's really impressive to see how you can craft a roster and be successful, not by overthinking it, just by getting the guys from the big schools.
1-1 is hit high and hard to center. LeGrande makes the easy catch for the second out, and a good start to Saxon Roberts' Cape debut. The final line for the prior pitcher, Colton Hartman, went 2 innings, gave up just 1 hit, no runs, walked 1 and struck out 3. So another promising outing for him. He's now had a scoreless outing in 5 of his 6 appearances this summer.
Not that I know the schedule, but makes sense you throw Quinn Holt out there for 3 innings and let the rest of these 3 relievers each take 2 for themselves. And that would give you a full 9 innings right there.
0-1 count to Nick Costello. He's 0 for 1 today with a walk. Ground ball fouled down the first baseline. The Braves have been really lucky to have their rotation pretty much intact over the last few weeks. It'll most likely be Matthew Shorey who gets the start on Tuesday in Game 1 of the playoffs. And then after that, the rotation of Folger Boaz, Nate Wysong, Joey Colucci, and then Quinn Holt today, and what we saw Reese Bowie do a few days ago. That is a rotation that, at least on paper, is probably the best of any team remaining.
Well, you look at the 6-man rotation right now in order. If things will go the same as it has over the last 6 games, it's Game 1, Matt Shorey, Game 2, Boaz. Then it's Nate Wysong, followed up by Bowie. And then you finish things out with Colucci and Holtz. Now, Bourne could see those guys multiple times. It could be just one time through that order, depending on how many games they play in this playoff run. But you're likely going to see those guys at the start of the pitching order go again in Matt Shorey and Boaz and Wysong.
That's hit towards shallow left. Long run, but the catch made by Costello. That is his first defensive play as a Bourne Brave. So a perfect 1-2-3 inning for Saxon Roberts in his debut with the Bourne Braves. And we are into the bottom of the 6th inning, quickly rolling along here from Durham Park. Bravo sent 2-3-4 to the plate when we return.
You are not me.
We're offering 0% for 60 months on Cat's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Bye-bye.
Now batting from Wake Forest, third baseman number 23, Cade Lewis.
Cade Lewis leads off for the Bourne Braves here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch, a ball from Josh Landry. Very interesting pitching strategy today from the Whitey Red Sox and manager Scott Pickler. Clay Hendry got the start, went just 1 inning, and was really good. He saw just 4 and didn't give up any runs. Chris Downs then came in, went an inning, and Gave up just 1 run on 2 hits. Overall, a solid outing. You saw just 4. Now Josh Landry is into his 4th inning of work. He was initially the starter, so maybe this was the plan all along for him to get a long outing, but just in the middle of the game. Lewis, a fly ball towards left center. That gets down, and that's going to get all the way to the wall. Lewis storms into second with a double. That's his 7th of the year. And the Braves have a runner in scoring position for the first time since the 2nd inning.
Amazing to see that double right there. I can't remember the last time we've seen a Cade Lewis double. I feel like it's been a little bit. Did have 2 in the month of July, 4 in just that half-month season in June. But he's a really talented batter and just keeps racking up those doubles. Now 2nd on the team, shy of LeGrande with 8.
So here's Cal Sefcik, the designated hitter. Chance to extend this Braves lead. They're up 1-0. Sefcik has 7 RBIs on the season in 15 games. Sends the first pitch, a slice ball towards left. That's carrying back. Crossland makes the catch over his head. Lewis tagging up, throws cut off, and the Braves have a runner 90 feet away with 1 gone here in the bottom of the 6th.
Seems like those breaking balls for Sefcik so far have just been tough to crack. He's taken protect swings or just really low cutting swings at every single one, and he's not been able to have success. Flyouts on all 3 of his at-bats.
Pinch hitter for the Braves here in the 6th inning. It's Gavin Kelly, so Riker Waite's day is done. He went 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Kelly's been a key part in this Bourne order throughout most of the season. He's playing now in his 30th game. He's hitting .269. Infield all in with the runner on 3rd and 1 out. Gavin Kelly has played all over in the field this season. We've seen him catch at 2nd, all 3 positions in the outfield. Most likely go play 2nd in Riker Waite's place. Kelly last night was in the leadoff spot. He went 1 for 5 with an RBI single. He led off each of the last 2 games. Became just the 3rd Brave to lead off multiple games this season. And his day back on August 1st, that was Thursday, or Friday, I should say, he was spectacular. Went 2 for 3 with 3 walks. Had 2 RBIs, scored 3 runs. Maybe all about that new haircut.
Very well could be. Did it himself. He was doing a little staring contest at the end of, I think it was the 5th inning, just a little bit ago. Probably will no longer be interacting with our 3rd base camera, though.
Yeah, I guess so. Got to focus on the game now. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball towards short. That rolls through. Lewis scores, and it's 2-0 Braves here in the bottom of the 6th.
Best part about that, the shift had 3 infielders on the left side of the infield, and they still couldn't get it. Kelly saw that, said, okay, I'll just put it between the 2nd baseman and shortstop, plays it perfectly, and gets another RBI. I feel like we've been saying these RBIs for Gavin Kelly just so often now, his 16th of the year.
It's been incredible, the RBI totals this season. When you just look at, there's no one really dominating for Bourne. It's been a true team effort. You look at the team leaderboard right now, and there's no one running away with the RBI lead. Everyone is right around 15 or 16. At this moment, there's 3 guys tied with 17 RBIs. Braden Holcomb, Cade Lewis, and Riker Waite. Gavin Kelly and John LeGrande both have 16. Mark Quattrani, when you factor in his Falmouth RBIs, which do count, it's all in the Cape League, he's up to 17 on the year. So all those guys right in that same area. No one near the top of the leaderboard, but, you know, winning the RBI title in the league is not going to win you games. It's about having an entire lineup that can get it done.
Exactly. I mean, all those guys are active, too, for Bourne, who are up there with RBIs. it's really special to have maintained those consistent hitters in this part of the season.
Count 2-0 to Sebastian Mexico. He's 0 for 1 today, walked his last time up in the fourth.
You know, it's different for a couple other teams this season who just had monsters on their roster, and once they left, it was a real dagger to the heart.
Fly ball in the left. This is going to send Crossland further back, and he finds it in the lights. Makes a tough catch for the second out. Gavin Kelly has to hustle back to first.
He's having a real tough time finding balls out there in left field.
It's a bit hazy tonight. You can tell looking at the sunset mainly, which is behind us. We're not really in your view watching this, just how hazy it is out there.
As I was going on earlier, Adam, there hasn't really been a player who's left for Bourne that completely destroys your offense. You know, you generally have had a lot of depth this season. And
there's a ground ball to short from Costello. Tough play for Bell, but he gets it done. A 6-3 ground out ends the bottom of the sixth inning, but not before the Bourne Braves add on another on a Gavin Kelly RBI single. The Braves lead it 2-0 at the end of 6. And before we step aside and send things to the 7th, we'll send things down to our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky.
Post mom of 4 years for Bourne. She has 5 kids herself. She's hosted 6 players throughout the summer. 2 are currently living with her, but she said these players are family. Any one of them, they don't have to be living with her. She just wants to give them a home away from home. Her kids have been bonding with them. They're great role models for her. Kuhio Aloy taught her kids that family comes first. You stand up for your siblings no matter what. And her kids have loved having these players in her home, and they already have plans to go visit their now family throughout the year.
Ariel, thank you so much. Those host families are what makes this league so special. We'll be back for the 7th in a moment. Braves lead it 2-0.
Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
We're into the final third of this game. It's been a very quick one. Bourne Braves lead it 2-0. We're under 2 hours in. Big part of it has just been how efficient this Braves pitching staff has been throughout this game. On to the third pitcher here with Saxon Roberts, and he started his game perfectly with a 1-2-3 inning with 2 flyouts and a pop-out. Looking to continue that here. Roberts faces off against the middle of this Whitey order. Ryan Nedved takes the first pitch. Nedved 0 for 1 with a walk today. He skies that in the left. Easy play for Costello for the first out. Costello had some difficulty finding that ball in the lights. It's going to be something to track throughout this game. It's not foggy at all. Clouds have not come down, but still, it's tough for these guys in left field right now. Thomas McAndrews now up to the plate, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 2 today. First pitch strike from Roberts. McAndrews, a local guy from Haverhill, Massachusetts. That's north of Boston, up towards the New Hampshire border. And it's a very interesting town. I was doing some reading into it earlier today, and I don't know if they just have someone who is a huge fan of Haverhill on the Wikipedia, but it is a very long Wikipedia that includes it saying that it has a role in nearly every single era of America history. It's known as the Queen Slipper City for being a big shoe producer. 1/10 of shoes in America were from Haverhill, Mass. But they played a big impact in the colonial settlement, the French and Indian Wars, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War. All big pieces from Haverhill. And also some interesting people that have come from there. Alexander Graham Bell spent a lot of time, of course, the creator of the telephone. As there is ball 4 on the high fastball to the Haverhill native. Andrews reaches here to put the first runner on in the top of the 7th. That's the first runner on since the 5th inning.
Now batting from Maryland, left fielder number 24, Jordan Crossland.
Jordan Crossland at the plate. Takes the first pitch ball. Crossland 0 for 2 today. Now 0 for 10 on the season. He has reached once, though. That came on a walk last night. Let's take a look around the league as we're here in the top of the 7th inning. Final day of the Cape League regular season, and there is a lot of playoff implication games around the league. Not this one. Out east, Brewster beat Orleans 5-4, so now the East Division will come down to what happens in the Harwich-Chatham game. If the Mariners win, they win the East. They're currently up 2-1 over the Anglers. If they lose, it'll be Orleans who wins the East Division. Big game when it comes to the West standings. Falmouth and Catuit. That game at Gov Fuller Field in the bottom of the 6th as the throw goes into second and in time as McAndrews. It's 3-3 in the bottom of the 6th of that game, and Falmouth has a runner on third base. The winner of that game makes the playoffs. Pretty simple. And how about Falmouth if they can make the playoffs after how it looked just a couple days ago like they had no chance?
Yeah, no, it was really, really grim, especially after the run rule loss to Bourne. They had to get a lot of help. They had to get multiple Catuit and Hyannis losses, and they had to win out, and they've done it. It's really spectacular.
So they've got a runner 90 feet away with a chance to take the lead as the 2-1 is bounced towards Cooney. Quick throw to first, up the line. The tag not applied by Torres. Crossland beats it out, and it's runners on first and second for the Red Sox here in the top of the 7th. They've got the tying runner on base. Wait to see how that's scored. Either a infield single or an E6 on the throw. Be shocked if they give the single. Crossland was close to beating that out anyways. Here's Jack Bell, the shortstop, 1 for 2 today. Singled his last time up. Roberts misses upstairs. They do call that a single for Crossland. So still no errors in this game.
There's the one on Cooney earlier that was
changed back to a hit.
And more of an error than that play right there. So I'd be surprised if they were to call that most recent one an error.
1-0. Swing and a miss. High fastball. It's 1-1. Bella has just 5 RBIs on the season in 28 games. Could potentially get his 6th here if he can bring home McAndrews on second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Roberts works his way back into the count, gets a K. That's his first one on the Cape, and we've got 2 gone here in the top of the 7th with still 2 runners on.
Now batting from Creighton, catcher number 16, Connor Capizzi.
Now it's Connor Capizzi, the catcher out of Creighton. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded into a double play his last time up. Like Bell before him, he's got 5 RBIs on the season. A chance to put the Red Sox on the board for the first time today here. Nick Andrews is the lead runner on second. Crossland behind him on first. Here's the pitch. In for a strike. From the stretch, here is the 0-1. Just barely above the zone. Great opportunity for Roberts here on the Cape. He just one appearance as a freshman at Auburn, but now in the top summer league in the country. Already off to a good start. 1-2-3 inning in his first inning, and now 2 outs with 2 on here in his second. Falmouth has taken the lead in the bottom of the 6th of that game down at Gov Fuller Field, so if the scores hold, it would be Katuitt who misses the playoffs, or actually, no, it would be Hyannis who misses the playoffs. Falmouth would get above both Katuitt and Hyannis, and the Harbor Hawks would miss after they were in first place for almost the entire season.
Yeah, I mean, pretty remarkable how the season can shift like that. Hyannis had some rough parts of this second half of the season and would be the worst possible situation. 2 things need to go wrong for Hyannis. They need to lose, and they need Falmouth to win. Katuitt still have the chance to still get in if Hyannis loses. That would mean the first round matchup for Bourne would be against Katuitt. They've only beat the Kettleers here at Dorn Park. If that means anything for the playoff prediction.
Other than last night, Devon.
At Dorn Park, at Dorn Park, the Katuitt Kettleers haven't won, is what I mean.
Yes. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for Roberts, and he works his way out of the inning with back-to-back strikeouts. So that does it for the 7th. We head into the 8th. The Braves up 2-0. Be back in a moment. Bottom of the order up. Devon Jarvis will take you home.
Ariel.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
We're offering 0% for 60 months on CAT's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
Bottom of the 7th inning here. The Bourne Braves are set to go. They're up by 2 right now.
Well, you guys are actually stuck with me for one more inning. We're here in the bottom of the 7th, and it's Ryan Cooney who comes to the plate first for the Bourne Braves. Final game of the regular season, and we're so happy and so thankful that all of you have joined us throughout this entire year here at Dorn Park. It's been an incredible season for the 4-time reigning West Division champion Bourne Braves. They're going to look to repeat that and make it back to the Cape League title once again in the postseason, but still looking for a final win here to close out the regular season. And one of those tiny things, Bourne would love to finish the season over 500 and get back to 20 wins. That's one of those small milestones that you got a chance to get to with a win today.
Oh, undoubtedly. And Scott Landers, my memory serves me right, has not been negative in any regular season so far. I can check to be certain.
Quick issue with the pitch comm for the catcher, Capizzi. They're just fixing that down the first base line.
They had 21 wins last season.
21 last year, 23 the year before that, 23 before that, and 24 before that. Bourne hasn't been below 500 since the 2019 season. They went 18, 14, and 2. They've only missed the playoffs once since the 2006 season. That was manager Harvey Shapiro. He missed the playoffs just 3 times after starting off in 2003. Shapiro decided to step down after the 2022 or 2021 season where he made it to the championship. That was one of the better seasons out on the Cape that the Braves have ever had. That was the best record for Shapiro. He ended things on top. Bourne went 24-9-3 in the 2021 season. If you go back through the history books, that was the first time since 1965 that the Bourne Braves lost less than 10 games. And you know who the manager was for the Bourne Braves in that season?
Who's that, Adam?
Lou Lamoriello, the former general manager for the New Jersey Devils and Toronto Maple Leafs and the current general manager of the New York Islanders, a Hockey Hall of Famer who spent a couple years with the Bourne Braves. Lamoriello was also the CEO of the New Jersey Nets in the NBA for a little bit. Just an absolute legend in sports. He was the player manager of the Bourne Canalmen back in the 1964 season. It's back when the Cape League had some different team names. The Sagamore Clouters, also a team he was the manager of, and of course Sagamore part of this Bourne area, so Bourne takes that history. That's right around the Cape League's change from the early era to the modern era when it got its affiliation with the NCAA. Cooney pops one up there and towards shallow right center, and it's caught by the right fielder Nick Costello for the first out. Those years in the early 60s were very weird when you look at the Cape League and you look at the Bourne Braves history, because Sagamore and Bourne were both playing some seasons, but not all. So Lou Lamoriello, for example, was the manager of the Bourne Braves in 1964. He then went to Sagamore in 1965 and won the championship there. And technically, that is one of the Braves' titles. If you go all the way back and look at that 1965 season.
It's they decided by eras, right? What is the...
Yeah, you have the modern era and the... I don't know if there's the early years, if there's an official term for the early era on the Cape Cod. That one's popped up towards short. And
the early Cape Cod era.
Caught by Bell. Yeah, the Sagamore, I think it's Clouters. I don't know how else you would say that. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that word in my life, to be honest. Clouters.
Of course, only 3 officials in the modern era, 2009, 22, and 23.
I believe the Sagamore Clouders played at the field right next to the Sagamore Bridge, as that's lined over the shortstop's head, and Aiden Paradine has his first hit with the Bourne Braves. Bravos get their 6th of the day here in the bottom of the 7th.
Center fielder number 1, John LeGrande.
Still trying to find out what a clouder is here, but Google's not giving me too much. However, did find that earlier this season, a 1960 Cape League champion for the YD Red Sox threw out the first pitch against the Sagamore, or who beat the Sagamore Clouders in the championship in 1960, threw out the first pitch for YD this year. And that was actually a YD Red Sox team that had Red Wilson on it. It's, of course, the namesake of their field. So a clouder is something that patches or repairs things.
Interesting. I know clout.
Like a cobbler or a botcher. It can also refer to someone who hits things, or more commonly, or more generally, as someone who is clumsy or awkward. So I guess hits things, it would just be like a baseball player kind of thing.
Yeah. You know, to be honest, cobbler and bachelor, what was it?
Cobbler and botch. Yeah, this is...
That doesn't really help me either.
No.
I think of peach cobbler when I hear cobbler.
So this is all Middle English. I've never heard about Middle English. I'd imagine that is the...
Shakespeare.
Yeah, like Shakespeare in between the early English and now.
It's my least favorite thing to read in class because I couldn't understand it.
Yeah, no, I don't get Shakespeare either. But Middle English, yeah, it was from the Norman conquest in 1066 until the late 15th century. So it's about the same time as the Middle Ages, so that's where those words come from. So you had Old English, Middle English, and Modern English. That was before Shakespeare's time, wasn't it?
What years? Shakespeare,
up
I believe,
until
was
the 1500s.
I believe Shakespeare was 1400s or 1600s, maybe.
Shakespeare was born in 1564.
Yes, because he was around the Renaissance.
Here's the 1-2. Ball inside.
Which took place in the 15 and 1600s.
I don't know if we have enough time to get into this, but have you heard of the Shakespeare conspiracies?
That it wasn't him who wrote all the plays,
Yeah.
it was this other guy?
Yes, yeah. I would like to believe that. Just why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean,
Rain on his
so
parade.
many plays for one guy who had no formal education.
So you're saying he's almost like the Wilt Chamberlain. It's like he's almost
You
too
can't
unbelievable.
confirm the 100-point game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, it was Shakespeare never had any like true education really. No attendance records for anything. Yet he apparently wrote all these incredible plays. Sure.
Wasn't Bach deaf?
I have no idea. No clue. Legrande hits a hard one to the right side. Nice play by Briseño, and what a throw to first to get the out. So that does it for the 7th inning. Now you guys are done for me, and you can enjoy listening to Devon Jarvis for the final 2 innings. Bourne Braves lead it 2-0.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Rents, the right equipment when and where you need it.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Back for more, top of the 8th inning, and on the mound, a new pitcher for the Bourne Braves. It's Timmy Lawson out of North Carolina. Another one of those big-time school pitchers that Scott Landers has added recently. On your screen right now, a waxing gibbous. Waxing movement meaning it's becoming full. Waning is when it's becoming new. And that right there is a waxing gibbous. I wish Adam, we talked about this last time, but whether or not it was a half moon or not. This time we're for sure it's a waxing gibbous. Lawson on the mound making his first appearance with the Braves. This has been a game for Bourne where they want to show those new arms. Now the second consecutive reliever for Bourne, who had not yet pitched in a game to this point, was in Charlottesville in the Valley League. Had a 5.47 ERA with 24 walks and 37 strikeouts earlier this summer. Did not pitch at all for the Tar Heels, and the first batter he faces is Capisi. Or instead, it's Tharnish. Tharnish swings and misses under the first pitch from Lawson. Now, considering we haven't seen a lot from Lawson, both collegiately and earlier this summer, or at all with the Braves, a lot of unknown about the hurler. It'll be interesting to see how he performs, and maybe he molds into one of those dominant arms for Bourne. Saxon Roberts, pretty solid day for him. Did not allow a single run in his 2 innings of work. Only 1 hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. It's an 0-2 count here to Tharnish. Here's Lawson from the left side. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball misses low. As we were talking about earlier, it seems it was a schedule for these pitchers in relief. Unexpected that anyone comes in for the rest of this game. The 1-2 is chopped foul again. There is action in the bullpen with the bullpen catcher Ben McCormick, I believe Landon White. But if they can throw Lawson right here to finish 2 clean innings and win this game for Bourne and earn the save, then that's all they'll need. Dominic Morrow released earlier today. He was one of the best relievers for Bourne this season, as another one is fouled off by Tharnish. Is a bummer to see go because of how electric he was.
Definitely, but it would make sense if we see Landon White come in for a bit today. He hasn't pitched since Tuesday, so you just want to give him a chance where he's probably not going to throw in game 1 of the playoffs, and then he would get, over a week without pitching, so I wouldn't be shocked if maybe he comes in for the 9th.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball left side. Lewis chases it. He's gobbled it up and thrown to first, but it goes off. That one back, and Tharnish on his way to second. That now the 6th error on the season for Lewis. His 4th there at third base.
Tharnish ended up getting to second no matter what, but up until about a week ago, that would have been basically automatically 2 bases. They just recently moved the video box that is out of play on the first base line a little bit up the line, so it's now closer towards the gate. So batters aren't guaranteed second base now on any errors towards first, but good heads-up base running there from Tharnish to realize.
Lawson now faces Briseño. Runner in scoring position. This Katuitt team has yet to leave a runner in scoring position since the inning just last inning.
They actually give Tharnish a single there and then say that the error was just to move him to second.
That's pretty incredible. It's now 3 groundouts, or rather base hits that could have been called an error. 2 from Ryan Cooney and 1 there from Cade Lewis. That one seems like it must have been an error in my book. Lawson now throws this one. He's got it grounded up the middle. Runner goes to third, but the second baseman in Kelly's got the easy out at first. Briseño moves the runner 90 feet. So for the first time today, or rather the second time today, it's a runner in scoring position, rather a runner on third base for the YD Red Sox. All the way back since the first, where Briseño was the one who was stranded there.
And if you're YD here, got to bring at least 1 home in the top of the 8th so that you don't have to score multiple in the 9th if you want to stay alive.
Infield not in at all. They'll likely just make the play at first if it comes to them. Still have the lead by 1, so it's not the most damaging run in the world if you were to let it by.
Not at all. I think it's the right move to just get the out and allow the run to score.
Chris Akopian at the plate. 0 for 2 today to begin with a walk. The 1-0 pitch. He slices foul into the netting behind home plate. First strike.
I really like Lawson's delivery. Looks good from the left side. He's big, 6'5". He does a really good job of getting full extension and really coming from over the top. It's a tough angle for the hitters.
Yeah, it's very interesting because it's almost like a 3/4 release because of how tall he is and how far he brings it outside, but he almost throws it straight down. Tim Lincecum had that straight down release as well. 2-time Cy Young winner in the early 2010s for the San Francisco Giants. Out of the stretch, he's sent for the 1-1 against Akopian. Gets this one grounded to the right side. Run's going to score, but the 4-3 is there 2 times in a row between Kelly and Torres. The score now 2-1 in favor of the Braves. So YD get their first of the day. And now no one on with 2 outs with Costello at the plate.
You take that if you're Bourne, without a doubt.
Not a bad result for YD either. They could not just could not get anything to come home earlier this game. Austin steps on, still out of the stretch with no one on. Tosses the first one into the dirt. It's a full 60 feet, 6-inch warm-up now for Landon White in the bullpen. He was getting ready as the closer yesterday against Katuitt, just never came into the game. Maybe he has that opportunity today. The 1-0. It's put foul. The Red Sox now down to their final 4 outs of the regular season. With a loss today, they would drop to 19, 18, and 3, just barely be 500. Bourne would be 2 games above 500 with a victory. A loss would leave them exactly at 500, 19, 19, and 2. And this game also important for Bourne, because with a win, they would get home field advantage against YD if these 2 were to meet in the Cape League Championship. Give you now another look around the league. The game we've paid closest attention to, Falmouth and Katuitt. They're still in the middle part of their game, top of the 7th inning, final 3 innings. And the score 4-3. Pitch outside, count runs full to Nick Costello. 2 runners on for Katuitt with 2 outs, so they're trying to put some runs up of their own after Falmouth took the lead in the bottom of the 6th. It's been a really good game so far. 2 leads for Katuitt, 1 lead for Falmouth.
That's really what you love to see in a game that matters that much, to have really close games.
Or rather, it's 2 leads for Falmouth, so 2 leads for either side with Falmouth up right now. Yeah, I think it's exactly what you want as Costello goes to first on the walk. Just makes things exciting. And I'm sure for those fans, it's just an even better experience to enjoy the win in a dramatic way and not have to, watch this final playoff game without any excitement. Bourne still have a great crowd here. It's one of the special things about Dorn Park is they bring an amazing section of fans every single game. It's what you see all around the Cape League, but the fans here at Dorn Park are just that special. Ryan Nedved up. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Before that, a look toward first. He got him. Great pickoff move. Great tag. Perfect everything from Lawson and Torres right there. Bourne only allow one by. The YD Red Sox are now just one back of Bourne, the score 2-1. We'll step aside here for the middle of the 8th inning. Bourne has one more chance to add insurance before the top of the 9th if they want to win this game in just 8.5 innings. We'll step aside now for the bottom of the 8th on the other side of this break on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
We're offering 0% for 60 months on CAT's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Bottom of the 8th inning, and Bourne will try and add a few here, just insurance if they can get some, and Whitey can't come back. That's the ball game, and Bourne is above 500 and the 1 seed in the West Division. They've already locked up that 1 seed, but a little bit more bragging rights. And, I think, Adam, it also holds something to say that Bourne would make it in either division in the playoffs. If they were to lose today, they would have missed the playoffs if they were in the East Division.
Definitely just a little bit of, bragging rights that you can't have happen. You don't want the East to be able to say, oh,
right,
look, we're so much better than you.
The 0-1. Ripped to the right side by Lewis. It's bobbled. Might be close at the first base. It's just in time. Torres got it over to Jack Nobe, the new pitcher for Falmouth. Or rather, for YT. Katua did score 1 against the Commodores, so it's back to a tie game.
Wow.
In the top of the 7th, going to the bottom of the 7th.
So a tie is in play too there now.
Yeah, a tie would send Katuit and Hyannis to the playoffs. Hyannis right now down 3-0 against Wareham, and Wareham has the bases loaded with no one out in the top of the 8th inning. So hope not lost for Hyannis. They could see a tie or a Katuit win, and they get in. Back to the left side. This one could be another close one as Sefcik doesn't beat it out. 2 down quickly here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Bourne Braves now down to the last chance to add some runs. I believe the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have the season series over the Falmouth Commodores, so with a tie, it would bring Hyannis and Falmouth both to 34 points, but the tiebreaker goes to the Harbor Hawks. Kelly at the plate swings and misses on the first one from Nobe. Kelly came in as a pinch hitter just 2 innings ago. Got an RBI in the 6th in his first at-bat. Beat the shift. Other scores around the league. We had that final for you earlier. 5-4 in favor of Brewster over Orleans. That snaps Orleans' 7-game winning streak. They were the hottest team in the Cape Cod Baseball League until today. And if Bourne were to win, they would be going into the playoffs with the largest winning streak of any team in the Cape League, potentially to be tied by Harwich if Harwich also wins at 3 games in a row. Swing and a miss, and Kelly's down on the count. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Just misses. Full count pitch from Nobe to Kelly. And it misses outside. Kelly's on first base.
Now batting from Louisiana Tech, right fielder number 8, Sebastian Mexico.
Sebastian Mexico now up. He had 2 RBIs in the 9th inning yesterday for Bourne. Has a chance to do it here in the 8th with just a runner on first and some more RBIs. Kelly, a swift batter, maybe makes his way to second base and into scoring position. Will get checked on by Nobe at first base. It's back safe. Runners going as the pitch is there for a strike, and pitch sails way high into the outfield. And just like that, Kelly's on second. Just mentioned that. Now he has an opportunity to come around and score. Kelly drove in a runner from second base back in the 6th inning when it was Kate Lewis there.
Definitely
or
nice.
rather, from third base.
Definitely be nice to just get some more insurance here if you're Bourne.
The offense has only scored 1 today. That was in the top of this very inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a check swing from Mexico. He really wanted that one in retrospect. Slaps his left thigh and a little bit of frustration. A walk for Mexico is the only time he's reached so far. Strike out and fly out to left field otherwise. Went 3 for 5 in yesterday's game. Kind of was his welcome party to the Bourne Braves. Runner's going to go to third. A swing to the right side by Mexico, but it's straight to the glove of Briseño. Easy toss to first, so it's YD on the ropes as we bring things to the 9th inning of play. They've got 1 run to make up for if they want to force at least another half inning. And the Bourne Braves will look to shut things out with Timmy Lawson on the mound. We'll step aside now for a short break and be back on the other side. YD up.
Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
There's a zero chance that you'll want to miss our 0% for 72 months offer. For a limited time, CAT is offering 0% on the purchase of many new small excavators. That's 0% for better performance. 0% for next generation features.
Great machine. It's quite impressive.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's zero time left.
One more chance for the YD Red Sox. It's going to be the middle of their order up, 5, 6, and 7. Nedved, McAndrews, and Crossland. This part of the order has just reached 3 times today and only has 1 hit. Swing and a miss on the first one from Nedved. He's going against Timmy Lawson, and now his second inning of work. It was a 1-run inning for YD against Lawson that first time around. Here's the 0-1. Sails up and away. It was ruled an error, possibly that inning. It's the run unearned for Lawson. As Tharnish, who came around to score, reached on E5. Nedved at the plate has reached just once on a walk. Been solid in the field at first base for YD. And Bourne in potentially their final half inning here at Dorn Park. They're going to look at, in the regular season that is, look to make it quick as they start well. Lawson 1 up, 1 down with a strikeout.
Now batting from Fordham, designated hitter number 44, Tommy McAndrews.
Tommy McAndrews now up. As there's action in the bullpen for the Bourne Braves continuing, and Scott Landers will go out and send things to the bullpen. Landon White, the reliever for Bourne, on the other side of this break. On the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
Hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you can dream it, If you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the pop.
New pitcher onto the mound for the Bourne Braves. It's Landon White. White out of Bryant University is stepping in here for the first time since Tuesday. He relieves Timmy Lawson after 1 1/3 pitch, just allowed 1 run unearned with 2 strikeouts as well. First pitch just misses. First batter up is Tommy McAndrews. Already 1 out here in the top of the 9th. This is the last chance for the YD Red Sox if they want to stay above water in the final regular season game of the Cape League season.
This is the 10th appearance of the season for Landon White. He becomes the first Bourne Brave pitcher to pitch in double-digit games, and he pitches in 1/4 of the regular season.
It's pretty incredible. No one as often as that. The 1-1 lifted high, but out of play. Most of Landon White's innings have come in just 2 or less. He has the occasional 4-inning stretch, as he did against Brewster on July 17th. In his first time out against Harwich, he pitched 3 innings in relief. But typically it's been at a minimum. His last time out, just 2/3 of an inning pitched with 1 hit, 2 runs, both earned, with 3 walks. The 1-2 is kept alive.
Almost took the head off our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, and our photographer, Shannon Hardy. Man,
glad they're both okay.
That was right at the door next to the dugout. Worst place that ball could have gone.
Just barely dodged the square screen we have there, which usually protects it. 1-2 pitch from White. Popped up right side. This could be the second out. Here's Torres, who makes the grab. This broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. And YD now down to their final out. It's Jordan Crossland to keep things alive. He had a hit back in the 7th inning. Did not come around to score, was stranded on first. The following 2 batters after him both went down by strikeout. The first pitch is there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. This could be it. Landon White needs 1 more. The claps ensue. Bourne looking for a victory. The 0-2 pitch just misses inside. The claps start again. Bourne wanted that call, didn't get it. Here we go. The 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. They're leaving us on the edge of our seat right now. Bourne want this win bad. 2 really close calls. And now it's a 2-2 count. Crossland back in the at-bat. Six total walks for Bourne on this day. The 2-2. This is outside, and again, the dugout not pleased.
I think that one was a ball for sure.
Got to do it in the most dramatic ways, of course. Landon White looks in. The payoff pitch with 2 outs. It's outside. Crossland works a walk after being down in the count.
Now
0-2. The control of problem we saw from Landon White for the first time all season in his last outing. Really all year he had been spectacular when it comes to not throwing walks. Heading into the game against Brewster, in 9 appearances, had just 8 and had 3 alone on Tuesday at Stony Brook Field. This pitch just misses inside now to the new batter in Jack Bell. Bell also just 1 hit on the day, with the other 2 at-bats being strikeouts. It's a runner on first in Crossland. That's the tying run of the ball game. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, but a strike on the outside edge. 2 strikes away is Landon White to shutting the door. Runner goes, pitch is high for a ball. The throw to second, close but not in time.
This game just does not want to end. Scott Landers is now out because he thinks this game should be well over by now.
The reason players love Scott Landers is because he has their back at all times. Contesting a call as the runner moves to scoring position here. He's 180 feet away from making this a tie ball game. Landon White now with some trouble in the base paths. 1 runner on second in Crossland. That was his first stolen base of the season. The 2-1 to Bell. Swing and a miss. This team wants it. They deserve it. They're 1 strike away from entering the playoffs with an above 500 record. Again, the claps come. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There for strike 3. The Bourne Braves win, and they're going to the playoffs as the 1 seed in the West Division. It had to be dramatic. Games at Dorn Park, not often easy. And Bourne earned a gritty one that didn't have much empirical value at them, but still really good to see them get it done.
Yeah, and it excites the fans. It's probably the loudest that we've heard Dorn Park all season, if not definitely in the top 5 loudest it's been. That's the energy that you have to have come playoff time, and you love to see the crowd get into it here on the final night of the regular season.
Really special. Bourne now enter the playoffs with the tied or solo tied largest winning streak of any team in the Cape Cod Baseball League. That's a sign for the good teams in the playoffs. So keep a watch out for Bourne when they get it done. The win today marks the 20th of the season for Bourne. They finished the regular season 20-18-2. Under Scott Landers, this team is not known for their regular season success, but once again they do it. Bourne are heading back to the playoffs for the 4th consecutive year under Landers. And Adam, you saw it last year. This team steps up when it's time for August.
It definitely does. The intensity is the intensity of playoff baseball for Bourne. Once you get to August, Scott Landers is one of the more fiery managers in the Cape League no matter what. I think you can make an argument that he always is. And today, he kind of got towards that next level. Come playoff time, he is going to fully defend his players and do everything that it takes to try and win a 3rd Cape League championship in 4 years.
Well, what he's done so far has been pretty much a perfect recipe. He's won 2 Cape League championships in 2022 and 2023. He made the West Division championship last season. And all season long, he's had that in the back of his mind. That loss last season to Harwich as something he's not sitting well with. now he has a chance to once again avenge that loss and bring Bourne another title.
Yeah, and you know that definitely means a lot to him to try and win it once again. Scott Landers has never not made the Cape League Championship as the Bourne manager. That is without a doubt the expectation every single year.
Well, our sideline reporter is standing by with us. Ariel alongside Luke Costello after an amazing day and debut with the Bourne Braves. What do you have?
Thanks, guys. I'm joined by Luke Costello from Wake Forest. Luke, close to 1 win tonight. You scored one of those runs. How does it feel to contribute to this team so quickly?
It's great. I mean, this is my first game here, so meeting all the guys, I mean, it was so much fun being out here, playing the game that we all love. So it was good to get a win, and we're really ready for the playoffs, ready to go win some games.
Yeah, you just got here. You're here for playoffs. What are you bringing to this team to help them make a postseason run?
Definitely a lot of energy. I mean, that's what we do at Wake. Just big-time energy, big-time plays, and doing whatever it takes to help the team win.
This game didn't really have any implications. You guys are in playoffs, but how does this win help you guys build momentum going in on Tuesday for the game?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's a lot of momentum for us, just seeing a W on the, in the scorebook, and just kind of coming out and competing with the team, no matter what it takes. I mean, a win is a win, and hopefully we can do that in the playoffs a couple times more. So,
thank you. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Ariel, thank you so much. A fantastic win for the Bourne Braves today, and they go to the playoffs once again. They're going to be one of the biggest teams to watch, one of the hottest teams in the league, and Bourne is always good under Scott Landers in August. We really appreciate you listening along to us for this entire regular season. As the moon is almost full, this season not quite full yet. There's still more baseball to play in Bourne. The Bourne Braves are back on Tuesday for a playoff game. Their opponents still TBD. Action going around the Cape League between Wareham Hyannis, Falmouth, and Katuitt. But that is it for us in the regular season. On behalf of our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, our producer, Gabriella Voccio, and my good friend and play-by-play partner, Adam Gotkin, I'm Devon Jarvis saying so long on the regular season, and we'll see you in the playoffs on Tuesday.